Don't say that. I'm sipping wine in a robe. I look too good to be alone. My house clean, my pool warm. Just shake smooth like a newborn. We should be dancing, romancing in the key swing in the west wing of this mansion. What's happening?
I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you're trying to lay this on,
I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open. I'ma leave the door open, girl. I'ma leave the door open. Let you feel the way I feel, and you want me like I want you tonight, baby. Tell me that you're coming through. Ooh, you're so sweet, so sweet.
Back like we never left. Back so quickly. Back so quickly. We've been here 5 minutes. All of a sudden, it's the finale. I don't like it. I feel like we at least needed 10 episodes to let this sink in. Yes, I'm coming in hot. How y'all doing? Get on in here. Hit that like button. Show us some love. Leave your commentary about our commentary down below. This is the finale. Get all your grievances out right now. Get them all out right now, because who knows how long we're going to have to wait for part 2 of this. But per usual, happy to have you guys here. Happy to have my fellow panelists here. And we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get into the breakdown, because I would love to hear what y'all thought about it, because I need some help. Please feel free to help me down in the chat, y'all. I watched it a second time. And I said, oh, okay.
You watched this twice?
Yeah.
And you stayed up? You stayed awake and watched this twice.
Oh, wow.
I did, because I felt like I needed something to hit me, and it didn't hit me. So I was like, let me digest it again. I was like, dang, I was tempted, Dom, to watch episode 1 to 7 just to try to properly digest things, because I just couldn't believe what had happened, and I just knew it couldn't be true. It was the same writers, same director, same creators. So I thought they were lying, and I felt like I needed to go do some due diligence. But we're going to get into that. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here, especially if you have been rocking with us through all 7 episodes. We appreciate you. Now we're going to start where we always start, but I decided to shake it up a little bit, just not giving overall thoughts, but also giving the pros and cons of this season, since it feels like this season was so short-lived. We came, we saw a few episodes, we met Gabriella, and we left. Dom, I'm going to come to you first, because I want to hear y'all thoughts more than anything. What are the pros and cons of this season?
The pros of this season is the second half, and the cons of the first half. Just in the short, because like having Claudia come back and her seance scene was a pro. Finally seeing Akasha was a pro. That whole 10-second scene was great. The tidbits that they gave were great. Seeing Louis and Lestat together and being in their chemistry, that was all great. Those are all the pros. The cons of this season is everything and the band. Like it's just like we had to go through so much and cover so much for absolutely nothing. Like they tried, like we saw so much of Gabriella, and by the end they tried to tie it all together and give us this fuller picture of who Lestat is. I don't think it worked, so I put that in the con category. The backstory and the context that they gave us, to me, was it was too tidbitty. It wasn't enough. It wasn't consistent enough. And I had to deal with this band for way too long. I was so tired of seeing with the band. And y'all in the comments was like, it's all going to tie together at the end, or the book this, the book that. I don't care what Anne Rice wrote. What they put on screen wasn't good. There ain't nothing to say about Anne. But the show wasn't it.
I'm going to say, unfortunately, outside of Claudia, outside of Akasha, outside of maybe giving when they decided to give Lestat some real vulnerability in history, and it wasn't all so tied to Gabriella, that beautiful black witch from Mayfair. I couldn't tell you who was here and who wasn't. I don't know. It's like it didn't happen. And I can't even attest, like Louis and Lestat together, they're always going to cook. That's why we love them so much. And that includes Claudia, whether she's Claudia or Regina. Those scenes were magnificent, but they've already proven themselves to be great all together. As far as just like outstanding like moments and just something that just made me go, I cannot wait to see part 2 of this. I don't have none. I don't have any. The pros, like, okay, Lestat the balladeer, okay? The ballads were kicking. I can't speak for too much, but Lestat and the ballads were cooking this season. I really enjoyed getting into him as a performer and a rock star, giving you all the late 70s glamour rock when he wasn't giving you Prince on a good day or Bowie. It was fun. I liked the sense of closure that they did try to give us with the season as far as Claudia was concerned. I enjoyed it, in the moment, us getting a little revenge over there with Bruce. It was fun, for what it was. Akasha was fabulous. All of you sweet babies, my sweet babies in the bag who thought this was about to be Akasha down. I told you. I told y'all. I told y'all. You thought Akasha was coming? I told y'all she wasn't coming. When they waited to high noon to put that lady on screens and say, I am the way, I said, okay, yeah. That was her moment. And it's like, yeah, you just get a little bit. We're going to sprinkle a little bit, but you got to wait, stay tuned for the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. I knew that was going to be it. But like, as far as a well-rounded season, it's just, it fell short for me. And I was really hoping after the episode that we just got that we knew it was going to be hard. It was like, how are you guys going to pull this all together? And we were proven right as to why you maybe needed 10 episodes to do so. See pros and cons of this season?
Pros. The performances, as always, the actors bring it every time. Everyone, even like we joke about Gabriella and how we don't like her character. As far as the actress is concerned, she's doing it. She came in, and I love how she puts this accent on her bravado. I like her as an actress. The cons are, before I go to that, more pros. We get our Louis, we get our Claudia, more so than what we would have gotten had they strictly followed, the book page per page. So I did enjoy seeing how the show writers were able to incorporate the characters that we've all grown to love into the season. The cons, the music, the cons, the band, the cons, just the sporadicness of it. And again, I understand that Lestat is a sporadic character, but the story, given that we only had 7 episodes, was kind of all over the place, and it didn't really lead to a place that was as fulfilling as I feel like it could have been had we have been given a little bit more time. I wish that they would have focused more on the flashbacks. I've said that many times. But overall, when it comes to this particular episode, though, I was feeling it, guys. I was here for it. It was giving wackadoodle. It was giving that same kind of like chaos, a little bit of the first episode, but just better done, in my opinion, because now I kind of more understood that this is what we're going for, right? This isn't going to be the same vibe of season 1 and 2. It's completely different. It's completely wacky and experimental, and I can appreciate the experimentalness of it. And that's why I enjoyed the episode. Even though I wish the ending was it felt like we didn't get, all the answers, but
out of everything we've seen this season, this was the episode that you were cool with.
I liked the 1 or 2 other episodes, but I liked it.
Someone said it in the comments that this wasn't a bad episode. It was just a bad season finale. Like, if this was episode 7,
okay.
If it was a 10-episode season and this was episode 7, I probably wouldn't be mad at it. But
it just didn't give us all the answers. But I feel like the story that was being told, I could get into it. I can get into like the craziness of the editing, and shout out to the editors, because they had a hell of a lot of work to do this episode, child. They was working hard for that money, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. It was visually interesting. It
Wow.
was compelling with the story. We got a couple answers. We got a little bit of motivations. You know, I was here for this episode.
See, I love that for you. I was the way I was overstimulated. I say, Mama must be getting old. Maybe I'm old. I say I am overstimulated. Like y'all taking me too fast. Y'all doing too much. I need y'all to pipe down. Like I would never expect this to be seasons 1 and 2. We are way past that train. But I will give writing and precision. Like doing a lot with a little. We are not getting any more episodes than we ever gotten before. You know, it was 7 that first season, but it was like so in the pocket. It was perfection. I felt like this was so convoluted. I was like 5 minutes. I said, "Oh, y'all ambitious, ain't you? Y'all doing a whole lot. Y'all are doing a whole lot." And it was a bit overwhelming for me. I felt like I couldn't properly digest what they were doing. I don't know. I said I need to go and see if I can get a little piece of check. Am I ADHD? What's happening? I didn't know what was going on because I was really trying to grasp onto what they were. I knew what they were doing and what they were saying. But it's like you never got a moment to really get settled in one or the other because we were jumping and we have to go. And all of a sudden, since y'all wanted to make it a wrap, we're going to inject 55,000 scenes from season 1. Y'all didn't want to go over there. Y'all practically refused to acknowledge most of the stuff that was happening over there. Y'all tried to stay as far away from seasons 1 and 2 as you possibly could. And then you're going to rush it and ball it all up and throw it in my face in the last episode. The disrespect, I felt like they threw some money in my face. I was mad. Thank you so much for the super chat. They definitely needed more episodes this season. A big problem is they're combining the books, The Vampire Lestat and Queen of the Damned. It's too much to cover in one season. And you can tell, I definitely feel like it was shining through because relax. Relax what you're doing, please. Thank you so much for the super chat, Swing fan. I enjoyed the episode. The ending was a little just my opinion. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. Like, I would never want anybody to roll up and just be like, I love like a vast array of opinions. But when I feel like I can count on C to be, C never fails to surprise me. She always be on the opposite side. Every time.
I just like what I like. I just
I feel like C be like in the room somewhere. She be watching me from afar. I'd be like, yeah, Tyree mixed with it.
It's so crazy because C will, because me and C will be on one accord on so many things. Like when she started talking about Superman, I'm like, yeah, we right here. When she started talking about Battlestar Galactica, I'm like, yeah, we right here. And then C will say something about Vampire Lestat or House of the Dragon. I'm like, who are you?
Justice for Allison as well. I'll go ahead and die on that hill as well. Justice for Allison.
All right, y'all. So we get over here. We're headless and we're in a bag. I wanted to start here because I didn't mind this so much. If we strictly decided to stay here majority of the episode, I think it would have flowed so much better. It felt really surreal, but on brand for Lestat to have this outer body, dying, subconscious fever dream experience with his muses / victim / fleshling / everything, as well as my maker. I thought it was really, baby, when Antoinette turned around, I said, girl, where you come from?
Yeah.
What is Antoinette doing here? Like, I was like, okay, it's a lot, but I'm kind of feeling where we're going. Maybe we're going to go into each of their perspectives to see where we're Lestat wrong. Then we kind of did that, but it was just so cross-pollinated with all things Louis and that Armand and that big situation that was quite overwhelming in the episode as well. It was translating, and then it just like, I was like, why? it was first of all, little baby from the band, fledgling or not. I said, girl, what you doing at the table? It was a lot of people. We could have brought back I don't even know her name. What is the drummer's name? The drummer, what is her name? Does anybody know?
It's with a T, right? Is it like TC or
I only know her name because of this episode, because when Lestat got to the table, everybody got introduced, and it was like the Vampire TC. I was like, oh, that's her name. Okay.
Tell me something, because I was like, girl, you didn't earn this. You can't sit with us. She's not supposed to be here. She's not supposed to be here. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. That seat could have been filled by somebody. Put Lily at the table. Damn it! I don't know.
The only reason I think she was at the table is because the table was full of people he turned.
Yeah,
and that was pretty much people he turned and his makers, right?
Yeah.
Which were,
Yeah.
that's the only reason she was there, because I'm assuming that he
Just-
turned her, and of course we already know that Gabriella turned Alex or whatever, so he must have turned her, and that's the only reason I can see she had to
I
date,
don't know.
because other than
I-
that, where the hell?
I enjoyed the opening. First of all, like I wanted little Lestat to grow on me. I wanted all versions of Lestat to grow on me, but they never met the version of Lestat that we know. So it was just like, if y'all don't get this stuttering baby out of my face, like, when we get ready to go back to the monastery and have our moments there, why are you here? Why are you at the head of the table? And it's translating. I was like, okay, we're gonna have a real like surreal type of moment where it's Lestat pretty much dying and he's being confronted with where he went wrong and where he failed basically all his fledglings in a way. The idea and the concept was creative. I did like, it's like, well, where's Claudius? Baby Claudia said everything she had to say to you last episode. She don't need to be here. She don't have anything else for you. Mm-hmm. What kind of threw me was it felt like a forceful need to have connective tissue to season 1. And then it was just like season one. Remember when? I was like, this would have been really great, because this is what I wanted all along. I just wanted it in doses per episode. I think we all expected to get Rockstar Lestat, but we also expected to get Lestat's perspective versus everybody that we've met before, whether it was Armand, whether it was somebody as small as Antoinette or Nikki, especially Louis. But when you ball it up so quickly and it's like, we're going to, stick it all back in your face. And remember when you killed me because I got those notes wrong and I'm back here in your face. It was creative, but we didn't have room like much of this season for this really good scenario to breathe, because we had to jump back to other things. See, I'm going to come to you first because you said you enjoyed it. How did you feel about this?
This particular at the table scene, I liked that it was like a mesh of important not experiences, but important places in his life. So he said he's sitting at his father's ugly table in what's his name? Is it Magnus? I'm sorry, all these M's in these damn books throw me off. Magnus's damn house. And I like the visual aspect. I like the visual storytelling of this episode. Yeah, and again, to see that he's so powerful that not even the chopping of the head could take him out. Him and Louis. I think later in the episode, Armand mentioned something about the only reason you're alive is your pedigree, like your Lestat's, who is like the blood of Akasha. So it's like all of these things kind of are tying in. They were planting these seeds early. I'm glad to see that they tie them in. And I like about this show that it doesn't insult the viewers by assuming that we're dumb. Like they'll mention something and then we'll get the payoff of that later, but isn't so like in your face that you have to like, oh yeah, they're just going to spell it out, kind of like they were doing in Stranger Things, like the final couple seasons. It's like, look, this dialogue is all over the place. This actually lets the viewer realize, okay, yeah, this is what's happening. This is the payoff. I'm competent enough to put these strings together. And that's what I liked about the episode. That's what I liked about the show. So yeah, it was, I like the tying that they do. You just got to catch it. And they speak so fast. That's one thing I wish that they switch over. They speak so fast and they have like layers of audio over everything. It's hard to catch. So you definitely have to watch this show more than once to catch like a bunch of things that are happening. But yeah, I liked it.
Dumb.
I like this framing device for the story, this exploration into Lestat. I really like this long table scene. To me, this by itself should have been 2 episodes. Like Lestat's head, like it should have been 2 headless episodes. It should have been last episode we see both heads roll. This episode we see what's going on with Lestat, because jumping back and forth between in his mind and Daniel at the bowling alley would have been hilarious and great and enough for one episode. And then the next episode we could see Louis on the spike, because that with Louis' part was so tense and so deep that needed its own episode. But this and everybody at the table, and then starting with the Lestat. I love how he introduced himself to himself, Lestat. And then we switch to all the fledglings and the makers. But that's why I think this needed its own episode, because again, the consistent thing with this season is we just hopscotching over so much stuff. So it's like we could have really got into Magnus. Like the fact that Magnus had this big impact on Lestat after knowing him for a week. You know what I'm saying? That could have been a whole thing. We could have delved into all of these other things. Except for Nikki. We don't need to delve no more into Nikki. I'm glad he sat in the corner and kept his mouth shut because we don't need no more from him. You unremarkable lover.
Dang. Look at his face in the corner.
So mad that that's the Nikki we've heard so much about that made such impact is worthless and pathetic. I can't stand it.
Well, did you feel that in the season? I felt like all this time with what we finally got in the end result as Nikki, that he was trying to use Nikki to mask his relationship with Gabriella. That's what I got from it.
And sure, but I still and my thing is when you like if you rewatch season 1 and season 2, the way he talks about Nikki seems sincere. Like the context of those scenes don't change for me. Yeah. And so it's like if you're trying to tell me that every time he was saying Nikki, he was thinking Gabriella, I can make myself believe that. I don't know that this show told me that. I just think that they built up Nikki to be this thing because if that was the case, don't give him his own episode. If that's the case, or give me when we got the Nikki episode, show me him not caring about Nikki and caring about Gabriella and all of this being a lie. If that's what that's gonna be. But no, you telling me that you really cared about this person who couldn't play the violin very well and who went insane immediately after you turned him. And so I was like, what are we doing? I just buy. And then but we could have done this full circle moment with all of these through lines of Lestat if we just had the whole 45 minutes to deal with Lestat in a show called The Vampire Lestat. Color me shocked. But I did like the scene. I liked the table scene. I think everybody did a good job. It just wasn't enough. We didn't go.
Is Don breaking up or was it just
me? It's breaking up for me too.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah, you breaking up. Lestat, cut your mic. Nikki, cut your mic.
We got majority of it though, dog. This could have been the show. I'm sorry. Like y'all talking about just one more. This could have been the show. I could have done away. We could have had cutaways and stuff to him to the concept album and the great conversion, but we could have got peeks and windows into those things with the individuals who were sitting at this table. Everybody, Daniel should have been at this table, Armand should have been at this table, and we should have visited each person at the table and give them a standalone episode. I would have been here for that. I didn't need to be all down with him getting shot and turning into Jesus. I didn't need to be there. I didn't necessarily need to be there. I feel like this concept was really bright. But when you try to force it into maybe a 30-minute window with the time that we have here in the episode, it tends to get a little sticky. And I hate to try to crap on it, but this could have been the show. Thank you so much for the super chat. Seasons 1 and 2 was one book. Season 3 brought back Louise, Daniel, Armand, then Lestat's story. And sprinkled in for Queen of the Damned. Too much for 7 episodes. I wonder why. I'm like, are y'all in fear of getting canceled? Like, what is it? Ambitious. You think so? Because it's like they're like, well, just in case, let's leave it kind of, like, well, dang. And you would think that this show would be a little bit more solidified. I don't know what's limiting the show from like reaching such a peak of popularity to where we don't have to worry about those things. Because it's an incredible show. Like. We on the 3rd season. Come on. Where the people at? Thank you so much, Trent King. Donations for Baby Lestat's wig. Man, the way they set that wig on that baby's head, it just be sitting there. It be sitting there all off blonde. I say, why is the blonde so off?
Oh, poor baby.
It's a little prepubescent blonde. Like what? This Baby Lestat blonde? Why is it so off and so off-putting to look at? Now, this here was where I really wanted to spend more time as well. I mean, I guess that's just the running thread through it. Because the way you have little ugly down there at the head of the table. I said, oh God. He's
Magnus.
such an unattractive vampire. But Magnus is down there after we went through the spew of like, oh, it was very messy. Like, oh, Lestat did that to you. Oh, he did that to me. Yes, he trashed. It was fun. And then we get here and it's like a laugh and it's a key right at the point of Magnus, why are you at the head of the table? Why are you here? Why are you able to speak on my behalf to say you did or created? Yes, you gave me this gift that I never asked for, that I instantly denied, but you only knew me for a week. And he's impacted you like immensely for that. Oh my God. Destroyed your life in the midst of that time along with that. But the way he instantly tries to kind of champion Gabriella, like, well, you go sit there. I only have one maker, and her name is Gabriella. But then by the time we get there and we get back to the scene that we were asking for, I know when we saw these witches in the burning, we were like, why do we get like a little flash of that? Why weren't we able to stay there? So I was happy that we were, ooh, look at that wig on Baby Lestat's head. I don't know why I put that there. That little wig just sitting down, chilling. I was happy that we could go back. I loved him having it register in his mind exactly who Magnus was, and mainly the parallels between what Magnus did to him versus what was done to Claudia, as well as the burning of the witch that was done to him as a child versus what was done to Claudia, like you've placated. And even in, if we can get into Louis, you've done these things and there's been cycles of you repeating these things that tormented and tortured you to make you this soul that you are now with your fledglings. Like you've passed down this trauma. You trash. Very trash behavior, Lestat. But I like the moment where, baby, he be acting down. Sam Reid be acting down. I was like, man, what I teach this at? You need to tell the people where to go, okay? It's amazing. The moment that it registers for him, like no other kids were there. Even this person didn't show up. Even, the other brother didn't show up. Why did you make it your business to make sure I went? And it's like, well, this is the way that I felt like I was showing you love as your mother. Did you not, leave home until you were way almost into your 30s? did you not this was my way to kind of scare you straight, like this is what the people in the community think about you, or else you're going to be trapped here forever just like me. It's like, this is the best demonstration that you could think to have me man up. Like, you're not a good mom. And it's like when that like spirit invokes him and he just pauses and it's like, oh my God, where they teach this at? This ain't down at the local theater. This is wonderful. It was so good. I appreciated us going to visit that scene, but it's a testament to how much context that we can get if we're allowed to waddle somewhere. We got to sit there, even though that was brief as well. It made so much of a difference, and you got instantly like his mind state as far as Gabriella. It felt like he was awakening, with some revelation, like, you are, a part of my making, but you're also a part of my downfall. Not only were you not, the best companion in Vamp, you were never a good mother. And it's taken this long for me to realize that. I enjoyed all of this, but it was quick. Dumb.
It was just, yeah. I feel like that's going to be the consistent theme with this episode. It was good, but it was quick.
That's what you You left yourself wide open, Dom. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I walked into that one. But I felt like it was a lot of Lestat carrying. Like Sam Reid was carrying a lot because I felt like we weren't getting a lot of Gabriella responding or advocating. I feel like a lot of the people were just kind of sitting there taking it. Yeah. And I think I would have liked a little bit more back and forth. But it was a good, the witch scene, especially going back and forth and the burning and when she was explaining who all the girls were, and then the last one was like, this is a girl and she's not coming over no more. And like that really was impactful, and you can tell the trauma that Lestat, you can easily see the trauma that Lestat has been carrying for centuries, especially just off this one moment. So that was very good and very interesting, and I'm glad we got there, and I'm glad I didn't blink so I didn't miss it.
Don't, please. It was going so positive. See, what did you think about this scene and him telling Magnus, get your bummy self from the head of this table?
You know what? Magnus wasn't giving him no leeway, and he heard his mama was kind of like whispering something in his favor on occasion. He was like, oh, yeah, get her over here, because she's telling him, what's really he was strategic on his end. He knew what he was doing. I did like the fact that when they, again, the visual storytelling of this episode, when she was moved to the head of the table, we see her go from Miss Bob to back to the mom that he knew as a human. And the setting changed. It was like a complete different, like I think they were back in like his old home, or like the living room of his own home. So I did like that. Him being at the burning of the witches was interesting, because it's almost as if like she just wants to traumatize him. So I feel like she loves him, but she hates him. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, she loves all the kids, all of them.
Yeah. So it's very odd to see, and I guess that's how it is with abusive. I guess when you're living with an abusive parent, it's like there's moments that seem like, oh, they love you, they're your advocate, and then like that, it could be like they're your worst enemy, and they have the worst intentions for you. So kudos to the actors on this show. That's all I'll say.
I enjoy this for what it was. I just, it like you said, it really be Sam Reid up there carrying everything on my back. I got my city on my back. He carries a whole lot of, and I would have loved like some more pushback, whether it was Magnus or Gabriella or Louise. I feel like it would have added a lot of tension to the scene, because it's natural for Armand to try to get the last word or to try to interject. If it was like, well, no, actually, but it was like, no, we're all just having a seat at the table. And more than anything, they wouldn't have had any time for that. Oh. Hey, Daddy, thank you for the super chat. I just know you're going to catch so much flack for telling your truth, but I very much appreciate your honesty, because this entire season has been lacking across the board. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Daddy. Daddy said no. Oh, I'm glad some of you. I'm glad this is a very divisive season. I feel like the seasons prior were like a unanimous, oh, this was great for the most part, but this is not one of those, but it still makes for good conversation. Thank you so much for the super chat. This finale was filth as a finale, but I rocked with y'all all 7 episodes and loved it. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. Filth is a strong word. Said it's filth. Dane is here. Hello, Dane.
Asking the important questions. I see your comment, and yes.
Let me go see. I can't even get it on screen quick enough.
Because he's a villain and a deviant and a liar, as I've been saying this whole time.
Oh, what up, peoples? This season finale has been poop. I was waiting for Armand to put on some clown makeup and start laughing like the Joker. Baby, Armand. Whoa, just wait till we get to Armand, because the whole time. Oh, okay, Armand. Thank you, Dane. Also, did Lestat? We're gonna get there when we get there. Yes, we're gonna get there, because how? You know what? I'm gonna wait. Y'all not gonna make me come out of my body this early in the live. I already knew what kind of time we was on. We're not gonna skip over it, because we got to talk about it. Because why you here, Paul? What y'all trying to say? Y'all have been standing on business for many a season. Now y'all trying to low key walk it back. Why would y'all put that in there?
I just never fooled me once. That liar Lestat ain't never fooled me once.
Pissed me off. I love Paul. I said, what are you doing here? Oh, don't be coming in here being messy, Dane. It's early. I can't even put this on the thing. You have to give me hypertension. I feel like the show assumed the audience read the books. I never got that vibe with the first seasons, though. Like, was that the expectation? Because, baby, I haven't. If it's not that movie with Brad Pitt, I haven't seen it. If it's not Queen of the Damned over there with Aaliyah, I ain't seen it. So please don't make that assumption. Oh, Lord, not y'all coming in hot with the Paul. Just wait. We're not over there yet.
Hold your questions to the
Hold your questions till we get to the slide, because I'm sweating. Thank you so much for the super chat. Gabriella resented Lestat as much as she loved him, so she hurt him in a similar way that he hurt Claudia. Yeah, this is all just this whole season was just trauma. Mm-hmm. This was all trauma passed on from parents to makers to fledglings on down. It was just, I said, oh my God, just when you thought it was over, here comes Armand. it was oh so much of it. It was a whole lot. But leaving this here, I just started sweating. Not you bringing up Paul all early. Hold on, because I did not. I was like, Paul. Now, before we get into all things Armand, they really. Are we really committing to this? Now, for the show and for the Armand that we know, as well as the Daniel, I really felt like majority of this was just to get Daniel on his side and to get into Daniel's head. But the way we're framing it in these last 2 episodes is giving Erykah Badu, is giving love of my life. I said, and I'm trying to go back and really consider how much of the perspective that we had to sit through that was Louis versus Daniel when it came to Armand, but it never gave that ever. The way Armand set up there in his bouts of with Louis' severed head, it was fine that she went over there and had all of those extra lovers, because you know why? It gave me more time to go spin with Daniel and go watch after Daniel and go stalk Daniel, because Daniel was the one. Daniel is currently the one.
No way.
That is sending me like, no okay, I'm trying to really tap into this darkness. There is something like really sunk in about Daniel. There's something that clicks with their personalities to where they may mesh, where we kind of hop over into Daniel, the vamp, and he's instantly lonely and sucking and dull and changed and detached and seeking like validation and connection. But it's not like all the other vampires. It was just so instant. I'm like, there's something like hopeless about the both of them. And I'm like, maybe their chemistry or longing, if you will, as far as Armand is concerned, is maybe just about the companion part. But like romantically, I don't think it can be romantic. But if this is what it is, I would like to have seen the smallest. And you know that they're able to give nuanced things to where it's like, if you go back now, it's like, oh, so that moment, that was really about Daniel. There is nothing I can recall loving, longing, lusting, wanting, protecting, because it's really about Daniel. I'm over here kicking it with you in a high rise in Dubai, Louis, because I want to upstand what we've been doing for 70 plus years. But in the back of my mind, it's always been Daniel. Y'all gonna have to miss me with that for right now. Dom, has it always been Daniel?
No, and you will not. And C said something earlier about in the dinner table scene, they didn't insult our intelligence. Well, they doing it now. Because if you think that I'm gonna believe that either one of them has ever had any real affection for the other person at all, absolutely not. Because for so many reasons. But you can't tell me that, because like you said, Tyra, there should be some other context when I rewatch season 1 and season 2 where it puts different. No, when they're in the 70s and Armand shows up and he's messing with Daniel, he's asking Daniel a question over and over again. What makes you so special? What makes you so special? Now, if you showed me a scene this season where it was after that, where Armand figures out what makes him so special, and now Armand is attached to him, I'm all for it. But no, that you left that hanging. There was nothing special. That was Armand's conclusion, is that he's just somebody, and we're gonna throw him away. You can't tell me that in Dubai, in the penthouse, he was sneaking away to go see Daniel. You can't tell me that, because if Armand lied and manipulated to get Louis there. Armand been lying and manipulating Louis for centuries to get him in the penthouse. So if Armand is going to do all of these machinations to not be lonely, why wouldn't he do all these machinations to be with the person he wanted to be with? It just don't. And this is the same Armand who the idea of a fledgling repulsed him. There was no part of him that wanted to make a fledgling. He had never made one before because he didn't like it. So you can't tell me that you were fiending for this person that you were never going to turn. Not out of affection, you weren't going to turn him. So you're going to watch this man die. He's already 70. 30 years ain't nothing to you. So you was gonna watch this man die, the supposed love of your life, the twinkle in your eye that you just had to go see whenever Louis was off doing something else, turning his back. You just had to go see this man that's finna die tomorrow. That I just can't. And there's nothing in this season, nothing in that dialogue between them made me feel like if you told me Daniel is trying to be with Armand because Daniel is lonely, I can believe that. I can believe like Daniel. I just like who like me because I'm alone.
Well, Dom, do you feel like Armand said those things in the moment to like make Louis feel like, see, it was really never you? Was he trying to be petty, or did he like? Because if you were, it was never going to be behind Daniel. Like not when it came to Louis. What he's going to go?
No, because that makes sense for the audience because the audience was there when he confessed to Daniel, and we're here to hear that side comment to where he said to Louis. But as far as Louis' perspective, what the fuck are you talking about Daniel for? Like, from Louis' perspective, why are you talking about Daniel? Like, we've never had a conversation where you've told me that you've been wanting Daniel all this time. So that little side comment don't mean nothing to me. So no. The show is telling me that Armand's being sincere about Daniel, and I don't buy it. And I'm calling BS. No, absolutely not.
That's what they say. I knew that this is where we were going when they played that little sound, that little score that they, anytime that there's a passionate, intimate, like, oh my God moment, just like when they had the hurricane, they played the same little score. And they played that score when Armand was giving his breakdown to Daniel about how I was there for 50 plus years watching it die. And I was like, y'all really want to take it here? Then y'all need to go back and do some work because y'all lied. See, do you believe this? Or what is their relationship to you?
So I feel as if had Daniel remained human, I could maybe understand this loneliness arc that they're trying to send him on, right? But last time we checked in last season, he was living a life as a vampire. He was going on a press tour. He was, walking around with them glasses, loving it, right? And now suddenly in this season, we're instantly into, oh, I'm so lonely. And it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. I can see him being lonely as a man, as a human man who was dying, whose best days were behind him, and whose family didn't love him. And he really had pretty much nothing to live for. I could see him being lonely and kind of falling for whatever kind of manipulations that Armand put in way. I almost said Lestat because he's a manipulator, but Armand put his way. But him as a vampire, what? I don't really believe it as much. I know that it's kind of that way in the books, like they're like a thing or people ship them in the book. But I don't think the show thus far has really put down the groundwork to make this as believable as it should be. Again, I say it's because of the time. They didn't have enough time. I feel like the whole thing between Armand and Louis, this episode could have been its own episode because it was so thick with content. But I guess it is called the Vampire Lestat, so we can't really, I get it. But
no, we watched Louis go on that Blade mission to Detroit. we wasn't on the stat there.
That's true. That's true.
We had several side missions. If they wanted to get rid of that band, we didn't need that.
But honestly, Daniel has been so odd this season in general. Like he just hasn't been himself this whole season. So yeah, I don't believe the love that they want us to believe just yet. No.
I want to. I said, did I miss something? What is this conversation, Armand? Armand is us. Wait, Armand is us followers with no profile picture. Looking at Louis and Lestat post in the shadows, then popping up in the DM being messy. Definitely a ghost follower. Definitely a stalker. Armand is weird work. He is extremely weird. And it's sad that even when he's being maybe his most endearing and most sincere, you still can't believe him. There is no reason that I should be like questioning, like when it comes to like depth, because we're really like the way this show is playing it out, it's always been Daniel. He was just waiting. It's like I was biding time with Louis because I wanted forgiveness, because I knew that she would never forgive me and all of this. But in the back of my mind, I was like, there was nothing about Daniel in those episodes. Daniel was practically the bane of your existence. You coming to unleash the secrets that I've been coveting and holding and masking and glamoring Louis over. And if you do too much, it might seep out. Armand always gave as soon as you get your little rocks off, I'm gonna kill Daniel.
Yeah.
That's what it was given. So I was like, was he trying to fight his love? Like, I'm trying to make it make sense for them because they didn't give us anything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord. AMC acts like this show isn't on their network. An episode can be 45 minutes or 90 minutes. The show needed moments to breathe. I'm really sick of because I fall for the okie doke every time. Like, okay, we got another, and then it's like end. So let me tell you about the behind. I don't need no behind the scenes. You need to make that a separate entity that I can clip at the bottom in the links, just in case I want to watch behind the scenes. You don't get to just, okay, we gonna dead it here. We got a measly 45 minutes. Y'all cut it off at the 39-minute mark, and then it's just behind the scenes.
Yeah, backstage.
I didn't ask you for that. I didn't ask you for that. I ain't asked for your opinion. Who asked you? I love it. Like, it's cool, but it needs to be like old school DVD. You would have to go down and decide if you wanted to watch that. I want more time. Daniel should have stayed in season 1 and 2.
Oh, pudding.
This is not Daniel. This is I guess it's just maybe disappointed because this isn't, I guess, the version of Daniel that we thought that we would get. But they said, don't count your little blessings too soon, because I know we all just assume, baby, once Daniel is a vampire, the Daniel that we know, who is a force, especially like you were formidable as a human, you were on their ass. So as a vampire, Daniel's going to be incredible. And it's just like, Dad, hey, Pops. It's like, what is this?
Because he's forced in the show. He shouldn't be in the show. Because when we see Daniel after the book drops and he does the interview on TV and he's walking out like it's Saturday Night Fever and he's just doing all of this, I'm like, yeah, he should have walked into the moonlight after that and did his own thing. He didn't need to be in the show. We could have found another because you got two storytelling mechanisms in this one show. Because you got Daniel doing the documentary, but you also got Lestat doing the flashback of the record that we listening to. You only needed one. It just could have been Lestat doing the failure DVD commentary, and we didn't need the interview aspect of it. We didn't need that part.
So Louis ethered Armand's plan with one speech. That he just told him what he needed to hear. All of this because you needed some closure. Okay, Pookie. Like, I said, Armand, say less. You did all, like, we're about to get into it. Daniel has nothing to live for. Messed up his family and had no hobbies outside of drugs and journalism. Empty human, empty vampire, perfect. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I can meet them on that level, but y'all have to sell it to me before we ever get here. Y'all did not make those bonds cross for me to believe that. Now, as far as like the void, they very much so have that, very empty. That's why he's so bitter at the fact that Lestat got over on him and the blood tears of it all, like, just petty. I understand that, but y'all have to leave me some breadcrumbs. I'm sorry, y'all didn't do enough. This seems so far left, and it's like we're always like, okay, so Armand, you're lying because you have to be lying. You never gave us this before, but I guess it was all an act because all the Armand lovers are gonna say that's how good he is. Like it was actually Daniel the whole time. Like, it was just so great. Okay, y'all. I would just, I'll be trying. Yeah. Just say what we're all thinking. Daniel, what?
Oh,
what are you talking about, Daniel? First of all, Daniel Big Fine. What are we talking about? That's somebody's old sugar daddy, whether you know it or not.
And he's 70. Not every 70-year-old can look like Ernie Hudson. Like, the man is 70.
Not Ernie Hudson.
He's definitely giving Anthony Bourdain realness.
It's not about attraction, and I'm not gonna lie and act like I wanted to see them bumping uglies or something like that. That was not on the top of my bingo card. But as far as like attractiveness, age has nothing to do with it. The way Armand, the way that they connect and how you guys can rationalize Lestat's relationship with Gabriella, we can do the same thing with their age dynamic. Like, technically, maybe we're far, far older than Daniel could ever be. I think it's just the groundwork. If they had left those breadcrumbs to where, just like in that second season of Interview with the Vampire, we immediately went back to that first season and said, okay. We cannot do that with this. That's why it feels forced and like we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, because we know you lying, Armand. You have to be. But he's not. That's not what that score said. Now I wanted to start here before we got all the way into all things Louis. It was Armand the whole time, y'all. It was Armand the whole time. He said, "Yeah." He said, "With your little gullible ass, whack ass Louis." I said, this was them rolling up, chopping off the heads. I felt like we already knew what to expect. This did maybe tie up some ends with Regina, because I think we all said, like, why is she so comfortable? This is foreign how she's acting. She's not acting as abrasive as I would if somebody rolled up and told me that they were going to pay me and I was in the book and they were vampires. I would be terrified out of my mind whether or not I was a city girl writing hot checks or not. I'm scared. No, Regina was extremely comfortable. It's like, yeah, I fed her your backstory, told her what to do, what to say, practically where to wear. We're writing the script. We are orchestrating just as we did a billion years ago down at the Powdery Theater. It's all been Armand just to get her here at this moment, to use her as bait, to get Louis to do what he wanted him to do all along. But I would have loved to, because it felt like Armand was an afterthought this season. It felt like Armand was kind of on the back lots. And like we were saying, they really didn't have enough time to shed light on everyone. But if you were going to, with how important Armand is to the ending narrative of the show and where we currently are, we should have been over there. Did we have to know what he was up to the entire time? No. Did we have to reveal immediately that, oh, Regina sent you? No, because the reveal works. But I think for a lot of the episodes, it's like, where's Armand? What is Armand doing? Like, even like situations like this, this would have done more for me to know that he has some things in the work, or just to see him moving solo than him meeting up and over there with old boy from the band. I don't know the band. I don't know the band. Alex. Over there with Alex. Over there with Alex, or the meetings or whatever with Daniel. They were cool, but I just feel like we could have done more with this, because this was such a big moment. And it was just like, aha, like, oh, Armand is still Armand. It was, a nice reveal, but I feel like it would have been so much heavier if he was more potent in the season, instead of him just popping up sporadically in that one episode, giving his 12 steps. See, how did you feel about Regina being the avenue and the doppelganger this whole time? Because I knew that you would fall for it, Louis, because you're simple.
I was... Honestly, I was a little shocked. This threw me for a second, because I was thinking, oh, I thought really he did find a little doppelganger. Like, I wanted to believe it so bad, because I want the best for Louis. But Armand is being behind it the whole time. I wish, like you mentioned, we would have saw more of that. I feel like there were a lot of things that were happening with Armand that should have been on screen, because still we never got an explanation as to how him and Daniel out here walking in the sun. Like, what's up with that? They just, oh yeah, they can do it now. He's getting a little sunburn. It's like, why don't we get, where was all of this? I feel like there's some content there that we're missing, some kind of story there that we should have gotten. Her actually being in cahoots with Armand is wild, because like I said, I just really wanted her to be like the kind of like the real thing for Louis. And it's a look, let me defend my friend, okay? Me and Louis like this. We're back BFFs at this point. I'm his attorney, but now I've been his attorney for so long that we're friends at this. And Armand, there was a part of me while watching this episode that I've been wanting to sympathize with Armand this whole season. I was like, oh, maybe he, he's not that bad. He got his little 12-step program. Maybe, I was kind of trying to defend him a little bit. But after this, I don't think I can be on his side as much as I would have been had this not have been the case. And also him, to bring it back to him and Daniel, to say that Daniel is the love of his life. When he did his 12-step program and Daniel cussed him out, he didn't hold Daniel hostage. Tell him, no, you better say this and say whatever it is, this and this and this. He did that to Louis. It's very odd. But to see that Regina, even though she was in on it, she does have, like, she said, oh, I really liked you, that she didn't really want to hurt Louis. And Louis didn't want to hurt Regina, because he saw when he told her to rest, he was like, all right, pull the pen and paper, give me the paper, or whatever he said. He's still trying to protect, his Claudia, his pseudo Claudia, Regina. So yeah.
It was fine. They made it so like, oh, it's just all about the great conversion and the laws and it was never about, like, they're such hypocrites All of this was for your own personal closure, Iman. You don't give a damn about them laws of that great conversion. This don't have nothing to do with one or the other. You in here trying to force this man to use telepathy. Boy, ain't you desperate ass? Like, I be trying with Armand. I really do it, a little funky gremlin. Dumb. How did you feel about us really meeting Regina and her also being used as bait to do Armand's bidding here?
I actually liked it because this to me is Armand. This conniving, manipulative, petty person, pathetic person is the Armand I've come to know and enjoy. But I feel like this show suffered from having like contracts. Like, I gotta put this actor in so many episodes for the season, because I'm actually gonna I think it would have been the opposite of what y'all said, in the sense of like, I would have rather Armand not be in this season. Like, we don't see Armand at all this season, and we just, from like the viewer's perspective, that man really jumped in front of the train on his own, and all of this stuff happened, and we just thinking it's terrible things that's happening, and then in the season finale,
it's real.
When the heads come out the bag and somebody walks into the butcher shop and it's Armand, we'd be like, oh snap! And then we revealed that Armand was behind everything, and then we revealed that Armand was behind Regina. That would have had a much bigger impact if I ain't even think about Armand all season. And then he just walk in like, yeah, I'm still here, and I'm still it's big me.
That's true.
That would have been a crazy reveal, and I think that would have had a bigger impact. And he still would have seemed pathetic, because why did you go through all this work to do this? But it would have been narratively more satisfactory, because I don't care about you. I didn't need, and then because then when you flashback and you like, all right, we see the dude in a train, and then you pan to the left and it's Armand there, or you see him at the 12th step and then you pan and it's Armand sitting there. If all this is revealed in the finale, it would have felt like a reveal and not just random things that we had to see throughout the season.
That would have been way better. That's like they tried to give us a little bit of something and they didn't cook all the way. They might as well just saved it to the end of the season.
Yeah, but it was like, we paying him this much, we got to put him in more episodes. I feel like that's what happened.
I could have been here for that, because it felt like so much of this, when we did think his grand scheme for the great conversion or whatever, was to make it seem like Lestat was doing things, because Alex was very much, if I leave the band, are you threatening me? Are you going to kill me? Did you kill my brother? And maybe have us think like, well, Lestat, you've killed people for less. It could have been you. Like, if we could have had a little murder mystery in here, that would have been fun. But I'm saying, since they, we couldn't hold it in, and we had to have him down there at the function being a butterscotch biatch. Do it better. Do it better. But I was the way he said, like, now look, either write this letter, I'm gonna cut her head off too, and so your head on her body, and I was like, Armand,
crazy, Armand.
Right? He's so sick. He is so sick. You are showing a whole lot of love. I'm gonna play our jam, because we ain't gonna be able to hear it for a little while. We're gonna come back. Be sure to use this break to hit that like button and pick up the phone and tell somebody that we are talking about the finale of the Vampire Lestat. Y'all, that is like no smoke. That's my song. That's my song. That's That's my song. Back here, the titties be a shaking. That's my song. Like low key, that's my song. It really is. Now, getting over here to the main attraction when it came to Armand. Armand, this was so petty. The fact that we were going to this length and it mattered so much. And I know that we were all like waiting when it was like, baby, you rolled up on everybody with your 12 steps in your paper, except Louis. Like, what do you want? Because I don't owe you that. I want you to write a paper to me after you get. I was like, oh my goodness. For him to sit here, first we downplayed the relationship altogether because it was never that. Was I with you out of spite? Did I get what you trying to be petty? All about Lestat? Probably a little bit. Did I take pleasure in all things, Claudia? You on that stage about to die, me writing a whole entire concept and orchestra? I mean, I did. But there's a part of me that like really cared about you and what you thought about me. And I cared about you, Louis. Like, I was here and I really wanted to be with you in spite of all of that. It's like, Armand, in spite of everything that I did and orchestrated, I wanted to be with you. And after 77 years, you were just admit, I want you to admit that you never cared about me, that you were never going to forgive me, that it was never me. It was always it's never you, or it's never you, Armand. Arun, it's never Armand. Like, how can you not feel like a gremlin he is? Terrible, terrible man. But the way he flipped it, they gonna call Louis out and hold him to task about his selfishness every time. I said, you know what? They gonna throw your selfishness in your face every time, Louis. Like, well, I was there, hurting, coasting, acknowledging. Trump's like, but this is a hell of your own making, or Armand Beige Pillow. You created this. You didn't have to stick around. You didn't have to. But Armand is such a weird one. He like thrives in like a union or validation or like those rituals as to why we would stick to something like the great laws and this from the main maker who got you to be this way in the first place. Like, it's so sick and twisted. But if it's not something like systematic or structured where he can construct it like that Coven or when we were in the theater, he doesn't know how to exist. So it's like a damn, like a succubus or like a tapeworm. Like he just once he attaches himself to your ass, he's like there. That's why we say I love you, Lestat. So, oh my God, Jesus Christ, get away from me. It was just one night, Armand. Damn, like that's just that, because he's just seeking something that he's never had, and it's so pathetic and it's so sad. But the fact, even at that moment, at the thought of we're gonna take Claudia's head. We're going to take that risk. I'm going to kill her slowly unless you write what I need you to write, unless you say what I need you to say. And we're going over it. Baby, Louis is slipping in. And I say, well, damn, Armand, you going to let him die? We got Rashid over there like, baby, look, the vitals are looking real slim. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to hold on. And it's just like, no, keep it. The way that we would broadcast this, like, you need that much validation. Like, I don't just need it for myself, up until the moment that you're getting too close to home. He said, cut it all off, shut it down, wrap it up. Nobody needs to hear and see this. Not when I'm confronted with truths about myself, but we broadcast it. You see that one? The one I just got to take itself out, self-eliminate? There's 100 more following me. Armand told the truth. I don't care about none of that. I will shut all of this down, kill you. Let's say all of that. If you don't write what I need you to write, acknowledge me, like use me. Choose me, pick me, love me. I said, oh, baby. He wanted an apology. If this didn't tell me anything with how layered and how much we tried to stuff into this one scene, I said, just go on and produce that Armand the Vampire. Does Armand have a book? give Armand some time. Give Armand some time. Give Armand a show. There is never enough that we could unpack with Armand and his origins that we can stuff into a 15-minute scene. We just can't. It was so much. Of course, we're writing and we're going through the motions of, well, maybe I did. Maybe I wasn't my best self. Maybe I never acknowledged you as a person or your suffering outside of mine. I'm sorry, but let's not act like that you aren't evil, Armand, like you aren't wicked. There's a darkness in you, rightfully so, because of your origins. Like, oh, well, I didn't expect him to say that. And then we make our way on over here to Mary. We need to go over there. It's too much going on here. This was crazy. The moment that we get too close to home and we're getting into 12-year-old poor Arun, he said, cut the cameras, cut it off. No, we don't need to stream this to the public. He said, baby, go on and attach his little head back to his body. Thank you for giving me what I wanted. I got my little closure. In a few days, you might be able to blink. He said, patch him up, or I gotta go. I said, then we put this, we brand this A into Louis' chest. I said, okay, this is petty. This is why you don't have an eye, Arun. This is why you was down there looking fine as you wanted to be at the auction with a patch on. Because how dare he's there so broken, all three of them. I'm like, oh my God. Just be in a poly relationship at this point. Nobody else is gonna have you. Nobody. This is just so sad. This is a person, a vampire, older than old, who just wants to be chosen, and he hasn't, and he's suffering. And with this attitude, Buki, nobody's ever gonna choose your ass. Dumb.
So desperately does Armand want Louis to look at him in his eye and be like, it was never over. It's still not over. I wrote you a letter every day for a year. That's what Armand really wants. and he'll never have it. Nobody loves him like that. And they won't. He got this. What's the dude in Dante's Inferno that got to push the rock up the hill and then it just fall back down? That's Armand. You just pushing this love rock up this hill just to watch it come back down. It's not in the cards for you, my boy. And it's getting sad. We're several centuries. Isn't Armand like 1,000 years old? Like if you aren't chosen in every chapter of human history, you just need to go walk in the sun at this point. And at this point, it's not me, it's you. And the A carving it, I'm like, you just the pick me is, and it's just, and it's frustrating. He's a good character for this because you have all of this age, you have all of this power, you have all these resources, you have all of this mental capacity to be able to do these vast manipulations and mischaracterizations to where like Armand could take over the world. Like if Armand used these abilities he had in a different way, he could be king of the world. But you doing it to get a boyfriend crazy and failing. Like you could be on some vampire House of Cards stuff and just be the shadow that moves continents and moves nations, and you can't get a date for real. Like it's ridiculous. And that's the brilliance of his character. That's why we like watching him, but it is sad.
Well, I don't know. Dom, what do you think Armand would have? Armand is attractive. He's nice. Like he's loving to like a fault when he's not being a manipulator. I don't know if we've ever met him not being a manipulator. But Armand has a lot of qualities that would make him an alluring, loving, protective partner. There's longevity there. Why like there if Armand heals, Armand would be a good partner.
He hasn't healed his trauma.
If he heals, but he ain't healing it, because I don't care how beautiful you are, I don't care how amazing you look, if you too clingy. If every time I walk out the door, you like a sick puppy, like, where you going? Where you going? What you doing? What you doing? Where you at? Why can't I go? I just be gone.
Wait, what do you do? What do you do now? A panting dog now?
Yeah. You can't, and we're immortal. You can't be humping my leg for all eternity. It's not gonna happen. Not everybody. If I wanted a dog, I get a dog. I can't. It's unattractive.
It's not like he loses his full identity when he's with a partner. It's not like he's going to do everything Louis or Lestat tells him to do. He doesn't follow them in a sense. He wants to be in the relationship in his own way. It's like, but you're manipulating, or the way that you got to it in the first place is via manipulation. So it's never righteous to begin with. Like, I think even outside of like the blurring and the glamoring of Louis, if Louis just felt like just at that moment you saved me and he didn't, based off of what their relationship was to each other before, they would have been cool. But it's like, what's wrong with you, man? Like
healed traumas. He hasn't healed his traumas. That's
I know, but it's like, stop. It's been so long.
Even unhealed, he's just unattractive. Like, look at Louis and Lestat. Like, part of Louis' appeal of Lestat, part of the reason Louis keep going to Lestat is because Lestat act like he don't want Louis. Like, I don't need Louis. Like, I want Louis, but I don't need Louis. I go do my own thing. I go be a rock star. I go start a theater troupe. I go do some stuff without Louis and be my own person. I ain't never seen a scene with Armand being his own person. He always looking at somebody else like,
it felt like he was real boss. Before, when we was the real Rashid and we transitioned to Armand, when he came in with them shades on, like, I had a little hunt down the street. What's good? He act like he was popping. Like, he act like he has like identity. But the most like ravenous he is when you on a revenge plot. Like, it's so.
Well, I tell you, my dad told me one time I was dating a girl in high school and she was cute and she looked like that. She had it all together. She was the cutest girl in school. And he told me, he was like, don't sleep with that girl. Now I'm in high school. I wasn't supposed to be sleeping with no girl. But he was like, don't sleep with that girl because she's crazy. And they change. And man, sometimes you got to listen to your dad. Because it's different once you got them. See, when they offer you trying to get them, they got it all together. And then once you got them, it's like,
I don't know. It just wasn't righteous with everything that you've done and you've participated in. You come here with anger for Louis, like the anger towards you wasn't warranted. Like, the audacity of all of them. And I just really hate that he gets on my nerves, but a part of Armand will always look in the mirror and see the little 12-year-old tortured boy who was cast off by Mary's. Like, he's just that. He just sees the worst in himself. When he broke down, when he was like, I'm sorry, Armand, I didn't, recognize or see or ever acknowledge your trauma. And it's just like, cut the tape. I say, Armand. And then you go like, thank you for that. That's all I ever needed. Patch him up. I'm going to carve this damn A in your chest just because I want to, just so you'll know I was here. You won't ever forget this moment. But bye. I said, where are you going? See?
Okay. So a couple of things. I wondered why Armand released Regina, but didn't wipe her memory at all. We know he has that capacity, but he chose not to do that. I thought that was odd. When we are having this whole him confronting Louis and demanding kind of answers from him and tell me the truth. I sympathized with it. I was thinking, okay, he's been with Louis for, X amount of years. And he always known that he wasn't really loved by Louis, not in the way that Louis loved Lestat, but to be like kind of gaslit throughout the whole relationship by Louis, saying, oh, well, F Lestat, that was basically their whole relationship. And him knowing that whole time that he was never going to be Lestat for him, even though Louis never admitted that, I could see how that could fester and create a wound that you would want answers to. If you had the ability and the capacity to get answers from someone, you would want those answers. And I sympathize with him for that reason. But then I remembered that they want us to believe that him and Daniel are this epic love story. And I'm thinking, it doesn't add up, because why, if Daniel was this main love, why wasn't he, held in this crazy hostage situation? Because this is how Armand loves, apparently. Why didn't he get this treatment? And for Armand to carve an A into Louis' chest, is so like psycho. Like, that's what it's, this whole thing of him doing this is psycho. But the cutting off of the head, the carving of the A on the chest, it's like Louis needs a restraining order.
He's still slave minded. He branded Louis like a slave master.
Yes,
brand him.
Yes, he did. And they did have this moment where the comparisons, or at least their dynamic of Armand being a slave. And Louis being a pimp in like the previous life. And I'm thinking, okay, we do see that Armand is very, when he's in the relationships, he tends to take on the more submissive kind of, whatever you say kind of baby. It's like he's falling into those same routines. And I don't know, it's like part of me wants to sympathize with him, but then I remember it's like the writing doesn't want to, it does pulls us in both directions. So yeah, it's odd, very weird. And I don't really, I don't think that I can sympathize with Armand to this point. Like, come on now, you're really being crazy. And honestly, I also wonder why he didn't do the same thing to Lestat, because I feel like he's still also in love with Lestat as well. So it's like he has all of these weird, he loves whoever rejects him.
There's this
And
weird
he doesn't have
hierarchy type of thing with Lestat, but like this, like it's this weird infatuation. Like, oh, it almost well, since I can't get Lestat, I'll just get with Louis and just mess with Louis, but not actually
yeah.
like Louis. Like he's framed so much
And the
around
same thing with
Lestat.
Daniel. I can't get with Louis, so I guess I'll get with. It's like what? It's weird.
Well,
It's very odd.
the Daniel of it all, and this is why to me this show is the inconsistent writing, because the Daniel of it all, his confession to Daniel would have made sense if you take out the stalking for 50 years. Don't take that part out. If you just told me Lestat, because this is his first fledgling, after being so old and be waiting so long to make a fledgling, if you told me he was feeling like that because of that, like it's like almost, it's like waiting until you're 30 to lose your virginity. Like you're gonna be super attached to this person because you ain't right, because you shouldn't have waited that long. Like you you just shouldn't. Now you want to get married because you feeling all these stuff that we felt 16. And so I just but he doing all of this for somebody that you wasn't. This ain't even. What is it? Because now you gotta tell me what's special about Louis. Why Louis
77 years? It was just time.
Yeah.
And all that time, I didn't earn that from you. It was like it just was never going to be that. I love this. Thank you for the super chat, Armand. You need a love that will cradle you. I said you better talk that pimp shit. Louis said, "Let me go tell you what you want to hear, so you can attach my head back to my body." You need a love that will cradle you, baby. Like I said, pimp ass Louis, still pimp. Even in this, when that eye went this way.
Oh yeah, that was wild.
Even pimp state, Louis. Even in the state, you still pimping. Like he did that. That's what he needs. And it's like if I bide enough time and I devote myself and I'm a good partner, then we'll use. Like I was never going to forgive you for our relationship to escalate beyond where we met y'all. He still was having as many fascinating boys as he wanted to. But you're trying to find some comfort and some validation and have us think, well, you were having your way, whatever. I was really only waiting for Daniel. Nigga, please, you weren't waiting on no damn Daniel. I won't ever believe that he was waiting. We'll see where they go with that. Armand always minimizes his hellish transgressions. He does. It's very like, yeah, I did that. But what about what you did to me? Everybody here is a victim. Rarely the perpetuator. Yeah. Everybody's a vamp victim when they're all just a victim of cycles via their makers. It's just histories. This is y'all old as hell. They better have vamp therapy next season real soon. Armand was severely abused as a child, and he turned into the abuser. Not to make excuses, but he is a complex villain. All the vamps need better help. It is. That's why I'm like, we can't like. And I loved all of this scene, but I was like, he's so complex, and there's so many different layers to Armand outside of him being a gremlin. Because the way he could completely shut down all of the anger and the bravado, once again, very Lestat. I'm confronted with some stuff I wasn't prepared for. I just wanted you to give me closure and apologize to me for but I don't want to talk about my past. Like there's layers, and we can't get all the layers in 15 minutes. The actors are wonderful, so they're going to do their best, but we just needed more time. But Armand, sweet baby, like don't love nobody who don't love you back, Puddin'. It's other ninjas out here, bro. Like, come on.
Then I was thinking, y'all, is it the turning of the vampires that caused them to fall so deeply in love? So I was thinking, okay, is it, Lestat fell in love with Louis? We have Armand fell in love, well, not Armand, but he also fell in love. Lestat also fell in love with Gabriella, and Armand's fallen in love with Daniel. But then I was thinking, no, because Lestat also turned Claudia.
No,
and
I don't think it's really.
Yeah, I don't think that's it either.
If you could like get into Gabriella, like that longing and love, weird ancestral lust that he had for Gabriella, it was already there prior, to her being turned, and then her ways, they were there prior. And baby, he loved Louis from sight unseen on the street while he was pimping and split you like a croissant. He loved Louis.
But I I think that might be a specific thing for Lestat. Is like I love people, so I turned them. Because like he turned Gabriella, he turned Louis, he turned Nikki because he loved them. So it's like if I love you, I want to spend my eternal life with you, and that might have been why, because he had been screwed by that 3 times. He didn't want to turn Claudia. He was like, actually, no, let's not do this.
Oh, let's see. Armand is possibly overcorrecting his childhood / past. He's in survival mode and will aggressively control / manipulate everything in his environment. So he's not in a position to ever get hurt again. Child. They need some help, Drew. They need some help. Like I'm here for it, but you need to also acknowledge your wrongdoing. You're wrong, Armand, and you created this hell for yourself, and you're mad because it didn't work, and he still saw you as a beige pillow after 77 years. Yeah. Whose fault is that? You could have left at any time, boo. Because baby, the way that they were arguing in San Francisco, you knew he didn't love you then. You knew Lestat. It was always going to be Lestat, and you Lestat. So now what? Armand makes me think of Effie White. What about how I feel? He be a dream girl. He gonna be in the back. What about me? It's all about you. All about you. So you can't put me in the back, Curtis. You just can't. I've got the voice. I've got the power. You running behind him. I can walk in the sun. What about me? We could have had everything. You ain't no. It's just you just don't do it for him, and you didn't do it for Lestat. But that doesn't mean that you couldn't do it for somebody else, but you never tried because you're so focused on.
It might mean that. It's 2026. He is 1,000 years old. He ain't done it for nobody. He ain't done it for nobody.
No.
Nobody. At some point, the problem.
But
at some millennium.
Speaking on Regina here, because I was thinking the same thing when he was like, "Yeah, girls who talk getting you got your money," and like I was like, "You can get away with your life and go." I was like, "What?" You know, you glamored people and erased memories and deaded folks for way less, Armand. Why would we let her go? She must be coming back.
Yeah.
Now they would like make my day, even though I don't know. I doubt that that's in the books or anything. But who said we had to speak to that? Like we said, Claudia's vengeful and uninhabited, hateful ass spirit is somewhere looming out in the ether. If we could just go over there and this could turn into a whole damn Charmed episode. I don't care. Go in her body, Claudia. I don't know why. If we're gonna bring her back in a different capacity and just have her here as Regina, I don't know how well that would translate for me. I don't really feel Regina like that. Regina was a paid actress, clearly. So maybe we haven't really met the real her and we don't know her. But the fact that even in that moment of, the life's about to be taken, she's apologizing to Louis. I'm sorry. I really liked you. I didn't think that he was capable of. I never thought that he would do this when he sent me over there. This is too much. So the fact that it was that, or even him trying to make sure I'm prioritizing, even though this isn't Claudia, it's Regina, and I don't want you to harm her, Armand. Let me tell you what the hell you want to hear. She must be coming back, but I don't know how. Dom, what are we gonna do with Regina?
I just need it, and I know I'm the nerd. I like a lot of Marvel and comic book stuff. And I advocate for everything having a post-credit scene. I know that's not realistic. But if you would have just, at the end of the credits, had Regina walking down the street and then she just doubles over, falls to her knees, and becomes possessed by the ghost of Claudia and then walks off into the night, I would have been like, I'm excited for next season now. Now if that's all they needed, and I would have been way better in a better mood at the end of this season, but they didn't. And so they're gonna figure some weird way to shoehorn this nice young lady into next season, and it's not gonna fit. It's gonna be contrived, and it's gonna be forced, and it's fine because by the time next season come out, she's gonna be 30. So we're gonna have to figure it out. But But I like what she did in this season. I felt Delaney's a great actress, and they said it in the behind the scenes thing, but when I was watching the episode and they took the blindfold off and she screamed, I was like, yeah, I was like, I was like that give her whatever award and put her in a horror movie tonight. Go on, start shooting her and let her be a scream queen. At AMC, you make horror movies. Go on, put her in something. And let her act, because she was doing her thing this episode. But if she in next season, we gonna see.
Y'all silly in the chat. I'm sorry I lied to you, Martin. I just didn't want to go to Arizona. That's what she said to Louis. See, do you think that we're going to bring Regina back? And would you be here for it? Because like I said, that spirit is unresting out there. I would love us to bring, Claudia back in a way and just make Regina obsolete. I'm sorry, but they're going to do something with her. He didn't glamour.
So I want to call out to the book readers, right? Because these seasons have been very much kind of intertwined when it comes to the books. Like we get a little Queen of the Damned this season. We get people saying we get Merrick a little bit this season. They even had little sprinkles of the Armand book. I haven't read Armand, but someone mentioned that something along the books Armand happened in this season. So for the next season, we know it's going to be Queen of the Damned. But if you look behind me, that gray book right there, that is Tales of the Body Thief. That is my favorite book in all of the books that I've read when it comes to Anne Rice. And this is the story where Rolin Jones and Lestat switch bodies, right? And Rolin Jones is in the season. We see him in the next couple episodes. I'm sorry, we saw him through the episodes. So I'm thinking, are they going to mesh it by having Claudia be the body thief for Regina? Is this how they're going to do it? And that's the only way that makes sense enough for them to kind of combine those books into this next coming season, because they always end up combining the books. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to have to be Claudia as the body thief to Regina in some way. That's what it has to be, because I don't think they're going to have Raglan. If you guys in the bowling alley, Raglan is the guy who confronts Daniel in the bowling alley. I don't know if they're going to do a full season with him being our Lestat, but I can see them potentially bringing Claudia back for this body thief situation here. And that's what I think. I think that's how they're going to incorporate it. So we can also get the Akasha stuff in the next season, and all of that chaos. And maybe that's also why they were kind of skimp on the episodes this season and the budget a little bit, because we were very much on set. We didn't even get to see the concert. We was in the bus and the concert child. So maybe they saved some money for next season.
We better get that concert. See, I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all set up this damn concert and this great conversion, and then we end on like, look at anything. Look at the chaos ensued, and this is what's left. Like concert.
Yeah, nothing. They saving the budget because they got a lot to cover. It's about to be Claudia as the body thief. I'm telling you, that's what's about to be.
Now, kidding over here. Speaking of Raglan, now
there you go.
I don't like Raglan enough for him to be inhabiting anybody's body. Please, I don't know what he gives in the books, but I'm cool on that. Thank you. We get Daniel here. I'm so disappointed in Daniel this season. Like, I expected more. Just as a vampire, his caliber, just how he would be moving. I still don't feel like this revenge plot is warranted, all because you messed up my documentary. You think you're better than me. I am better. Hello? I'm just that. Like, what do you mean? And not, we're not doing it like that. But as far as just age, ability, concepts of what it means to be a vampire, dealing with it, what I'm able to do to you, to even have you here this mad with the concepts of my rage as a vamp, I am. Get over it. I do not think that those blood tears down at the documentary is enough for you to be sitting here with my head in a bowling ball bag. I just don't. I just don't. But fine. We're here, and he's taunting. It's very nanny boo-boo. I see, this is so childish. This is so childish. Like, I'm going to have your head here. And I was waiting. I was like, are you going to bowl with it? Give the people what they want to see. Are we going to do that? But no, I like how we tried to intertwine the concepts of the head being in the bag and him poking his head in the bag, and he's over the whole long table scene and doing his little aha. But we're going on and on about what we're gonna do, and I couldn't wait to get you here. You thought you were better than me, huh? Thought you were bigger than the program, huh? Yeah, we gonna need that head, Daniel. What? We're gonna need that head. We've always been here for the great conversion. Yeah, I know what we told you and maybe told other people, but that wasn't the master plan. Not only were we here for the great conversion, but we've been pushing it. You think people been rolling up really listening to Lestat music? Like, ain't nobody checking for that music. They said I said, damn, Lestat, that music ain't reaching nobody. We had the most. I thought it was good enough to reach a few people. The fans are on the street. It's like, yeah, it wasn't quite enough. So we made it even bigger. We're here for that. And then to get, some other things rolling, we're going to need that head. We're going to need to attach it back to the body. You can't have it. Then we're showing teeth. And then we cut. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, so you did what, Daniel?
Nothing.
Daniel was standing here giving. I didn't get, my story. Y'all played in my face there. I followed over here with the love of my life, this whole get back plan to chop them heads off. And now I'm here, dear Big Daddy Armand. I can do whatever I want to do with this head, how long I want to do it, because all of this is dead. Meanwhile, Armand already made his piece and reattached the movie's head. But here you are again, taking something away from me, and I'm going to show teeth to a room full of Talamasca. I said, to do what? What are you about to do? Because whatever it is, it's going to be consequences and repercussions, sir. Yeah. Like, the fact that we show some teeth and then we just cut away and we don't see Daniel at all, I was like, what are we supposed to do with that? I didn't really know where I wanted to go with that, or if I should have just lowered my expectations this season as far as what we were going to get from Daniel. I should have early on, but I was just expecting more. And then it doesn't help, of course, once we have the beginning of the first episode. Noticeably, everybody here is there except for him. And there's, the apologetic narrative that we have Lestat speak on, like he's posthumous, like he's gone. So what happened and what happened here, and does it really matter? I mean, kudos to you standing in your vamp hood, but I don't know how much you were going to do in this room full of Talamasca. And whatever you did, you're going to have to pay for it. Dumb.
I'm just so irritated. I'm so irritated with this show. I'm so irritated with Daniel, who shouldn't be here. And I'm irritated with the Talamasca because why? And that's the thing, is like, if you're going to tell me, AMC, that you're giving me an interconnected universe where this Talamasca is the same Talamasca that's over there with the sad white women. And this the same Talamasca that was going to let the Mayfairs burn in that warehouse because something was coming. Something was coming, and we gotta let it play out. We here just to watch. That's what we do, is we watch. But in here, we've been pulling strings and pushing for the great conversion. Why? You can't just drop that and then not tell me why. I need a villain monologue now. I need you to walk around in a circle where the camera pans and you explain to me why this organization that's been hell-bent on balance since I met y'all is now pushing for a great upheaval of the balance because you want 50,000 vampires to start turning over stuff. I need to understand why. And then this season, with all of its issues, has broken so many of like the key fundamental storytelling rules as far as don't introduce something that you don't tie up. Like, and it's not a cliffhanger. This is just a through line that you decided not to pick up on. Like, the purpose of bookends is you have two of them. There's one on one side and the exact same thing on the other side. So when you start the show, noticeably Daniel's missing, Armand's missing an eye, and we peg leg Louis. You make us think that Lestat might be dead or something because we auctioning off his stuff and we selling the stuff and we getting this audio. You only answer one of those questions. You only answered where is Lestat when he's talking in these recordings. But I don't know where one-eyed Armand came in at. I don't know where Peg Leg Louis come in at. I don't know what happened to Daniel. And then you show me him bearing his fangs at Raglan, and then you cut. Raglan got the head because the head got back on Lestat. So So something
And
happened to Daniel.
Raglan was on the tour bus. Raglan
Was on the tour bus. So Raglan came out of that encounter that you got aggressive at, Daniel. So did Daniel die and you didn't show me Daniel died? Ain't no way. Ain't no way you killed Daniel off screen. That didn't happen. I know that didn't happen. I know you didn't kill Daniel off screen. I know that's not what happened, but you got to tell me. Because you make me wait 2 years for every season. You're not finna just let me hang like that. That irritated my soul, because that's why we were talking earlier. This should have been the penultimate episode. This should have been the episode before the season finale, or God forbid they give us 10 episodes and we got 2. God forbid. But this was ridiculous. And some cliffhanger, like a good cliffhanger, is like the Delaney thing, where she get possessed. Like, ooh, I can't wait for next season. How are we gonna go?
Well, no, Don, what did you think? Because also in this scene, I didn't feel like getting a picture of him, but I put it here. Alex is here, and for quite some time, Daniel has been going on and on about how he's an autistic vamp and why don't you speak? Like, what role does Alex play? Because Alex has been here kind of looming in the shadows, saying a whole bunch of nothing. He had no reason to be here, but he was here. Like, what role are you playing?
I don't know, because I don't think Alex has spoken since he was turned. Ever since he was turned, I don't know that we've heard him utter a word. He just had that stupid mask on. I'm expecting him to be the new Jason. Like, I was expecting him to be like, oh, you just finna be crazy. You finna go on a murder spree. Like, that's what I was expecting. But he just here as the mascot. And I don't know. This too much dangling storylines for a series that's gonna make me wait 2 years to possibly get some closure. It was to me insulting and disrespectful as a viewer, because you made me invest. I paid for AMC Plus subscription to watch this radio show. I didn't even bootleg it because I wanted to watch it when it came out. But y'all,
I don't know. I'm bootleg city. I paid my hard-earned $11. Y'all got my 11. I was watching.
I'm gonna cancel this subscription now before they actually charge me again.
See, Raglan James wants that bowling bag.
See, I don't understand how I always find myself in the position of not agreeing with the characters, that y'all like and don't like. Because I'm seeing in the comments that people hate Raglan James, and I can't get behind that because I love me some Raglan.
I love Raglan. Nah, his character is cool. No, I mess with Raglan.
Yeah. I like Raglan, and I like him in the
well, explain it to me, because you have more, I guess, depth to the character because of the books, but it's the way that in so many seasons, it felt like early on the Telemasca is so layered in just watching, and kind of like they were moving in silence and also in fear, because we only have so much capability and power when it comes to these supernatural entities, especially like vampires. But now the way that Raglan James rolls up, like he has a bomb on him, like say something on, like when did y'all get all this power? Like, are they just this powerful? Who are you?
Raglan has, like, he's powerful in the books. Like, he has this ability. He's the body thief. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. He's the body thief. And it's. And to see him have, like, this kind of, stank in his walk in the series, I'm like, all right, yeah, we get a little bit more about Raglan, because I thought he was cool in the book, even though he's like our villain or whatever. But in here, like I said, I liked him in the Telemasca show too. So I don't know if that's controversial, but I liked him there too. But yeah, and Daniel, I don't know where they're going with Daniel. I know in the show that they through dialogue that they killed off David Talbot, which isn't what happens in the book. I believe David Talbot has a bigger part too in Tales of the Body Thief. So I'm wondering if they're going to have Daniel kind of play that role in the upcoming seasons in some capacity, because by the end, David is turned. He's the older man. He didn't want to be turned because he felt like he was old and yada, yada, yada. But he was given a new body to live his younger days. And I wonder if that's the angle that they're going to be using for Daniel in the upcoming seasons. But also, I'm a little bit concerned, even though I love that they bring back so many of the characters that we have grown to know. I'm concerned about if they have the ability to detach from any of these characters, because it's Claudia in reality shouldn't have been in the season, really. Neither should Louis. And if they continue to hold on to these characters, I don't think that they can really tell the story in a way that it should be told based on the books. So I want there to be stakes still in this show. So I would like to see them potentially get rid of these characters and have that be like a true death in some way. And I think that they could do it with Daniel if they so choose. You know, I love me some Daniel. I think that he could be the one to go.
I mean, so far they haven't given anything in addition to the thing that we already knew that would make me like, oh, I need to see more of Daniel in this state.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels like we're ripping away at the Daniel that we knew and love for the most part, and this is something else. And I really don't like where it's going. So if we have Daniel coming more into himself, and then it's like, okay, this is the Daniel that we know, and then his life is taken. Oh God, no. Then you know you get us more invested. But you know they can't fall for that syndrome of, well, we don't want to disturb the fandom. Let's find different ways to keep these people going and keep them on the show. It's okay to kill people off Stranger Things. Everybody does it all the time. Kill them kids, Stranger Things. Kill them kids. It's okay.
Kill this old man. He gotta go.
I'll be chilling over there with Mr. Raglan James and try to get into him. I just like, who are you rolling up? Then so it is not him. Raglan has been like consistently the same character. It was the idea of this is what we wanted y'all to do. Now that that's happened, we were really for the great conversion all along. Give me that head. I was like, and oh, y'all don't want to tell us that? Cool. I guess we'll wait till next season. Fine. Then we get over here. Now, but before the big P rolled up. Okay. We're all at the table and we're leaning in, and you're a failure. This is a failure. Fledgling's a failure. These are all the things and all the ways you ever wronged us, Lestat. And it's kind of cutting him deep, Shrek. It's kind of touching him on the inside part. Then he remembers who he is. Well, if I didn't fail, then that means I never tried. At least I tried. At least I lived life. At least I had a concept of going outside of whoever I thought I was going to be to actually even try to be something. A lot of people don't even do that. Let me stand up and get myself. Everybody shut up. Let me sit on top of this table and make y'all remember who I am. There's this sense of course, he's going to laugh something off if he don't do nothing else. But there's this self-acceptance. And, if I'm a failure, if I failed you, and it's only the most half-ass of an apology that a vampire could give. Because, who's apologized? They're never going to like admit fault or wrong or apologize for anything. But it's very, if I ever did anything to make you feel some type of way, I'm sorry. If I ever showed love, even if it was in the most grotesque way possible, I'm sorry. Was it grotesque? Sure, but it was my love to you. Like, thank you. I think like that's not any acknowledgement of your wrongdoing. But there is, in his own Lestat way, a circling around to that. But in confronting that and how we know that our ass is still on our shoulders, this isn't a concert audience. This is a room full of people that you've met, made, fledglings, and majority of people that you have killed. And we're confronting them with the happiest of faces. Oh, yeah, I remember you on the train. Yes, hi. I said, what the hell? And it's just all applause and all claps and everything that I've been through. It made me, there's this sense of like just invoking a new Lestat, and I no longer need, your validation of that one, or should feel a way about what got me to this point. It did that. Did I fail at some things? Yes. Did I exceed? Yeah, sure. Am I a failure? Yes, but I'm still Lestat, and those are the things that made me who I am, and what's going to make me, the whatever performer. We got the performance here in his way because we weren't going to get it later. We weren't going to get it later. We were going to be center stage here and make this a moment and have the crowd. And I was like, "Ooh, they revving us up for the concert, ain't they?" I was like, "Okay, we're getting prepped for that audience," because in Lestat's mind here, and we're still separated from that body. The clock is ticking down on the iPhone. I'm about to die anyway. Let me go out, with the bang and really acknowledge who I was then and who I am now, and everything that made me who I am, whether it's the fledglings or all the many victims I've had. This was a moment. But if I tell you I was watching this and I was like, baby, when Lestat get on that stage, when that head gets reattached and he gets on that stage, it's gonna be a moment. But being in here with all of these victims, it was a thing. Before we get into Paul, how did you feel about this moment?
I thought it was very cunty of him to say, "All right, you gotta say what y'all wanted to say. Let me say what I want to say." Right now, it's my turn. I think he even mentions, "Oh, this is why you guys are opening, and I'm headlining." And he went on the table and turned it into his whole stage. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was cool to see how very powerful he is, because he was supposed to die when that time went out, and he gave himself an additional 8 minutes of life just off of the strength of, no, I'm not ready to go yet. And still, it's like time on top of time on top of time. Very, very cool. Um, yeah, him acknowledging all the people that he's killed in the audience, when he even gets to this one guy, I forget what he, I want to say it's like Enzo or something like that. And he says, "Oh, tell him I'm sorry, and I hope the gift that he had in his hand got to the person it was supposed to go to." I'm like, Lestat, not you trying play still be all sorry. So you killed this man like you ain't killed this man the way you killed this man. Okay, Lestat. But this was actually my favorite couple scenes of the episode. Like this whole, when we get to this part, I was thinking they cooking with this. They cooking with
They
this.
weren't until they weren't. This just reminded me of like the deprivation chamber scene in Tales from the Hood. Where you're confronted with every person you ever killed. It's like, well, a bullet ain't got no name on it. Like, girl, you wasn't where you was supposed to be. Like, I killed you, but I'm sorry. Dumb. How did you feel about this? And did this like pique your interest for the concert later? Because I thought we was gonna get to the concert.
I knew when he hopped on the table. I knew, I was like, oh, this is the concert. I was like, this is the validation he needs, because I was like, having him be applauded by a room full of people he murdered is a choice. Yes. I'm like, it's very Lestat. It's very Lestat to be applauded and validated by your bad decisions. Like, that seems full circle for him, and him accepting who he is and standing in it. I'm like, this is what he was looking for by going and starting the band. So I was like, this is... So I thought that we were still going to do the concert, but we just weren't going to get a performance. I thought it was going to like end as soon as it started or something like that. But I knew we weren't going to get another musical number after this, because I was like, oh, this is his great achievement. But I liked it. It was fine. You know, like I said, Sam Reed's carrying the scene. He's being charismatic. He's being bombastic. He's talking. It was fun. I was painfully aware that we were at the end of this episode. I'm like, all right, now, where are we going with this? Because we got 10 more minutes. But it was cool. Sam Reid is whatever check they cut him, they should cut him a bigger one, because he was like, I built this on my back, brick by brick.
I love like all these people you kill. Like, yeah, do black licorice, do butterscotch. Because they're just fanning off after all. They just fangirling all about your music. And it was like, yeah. So this is who Black Licorice was about. It wasn't never about Louis. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Louis standing there looking just like a Louis in there. Okay.
Say, oh, you really thought you was the only? So I didn't have plenty in before and after you, Louis. Okay, you ain't the only Black Licorice I done had. This was amusing in every way that it could be for Lestat. And when I tell you, I got that this was supposed to be the representation of acceptance and what he's been chasing this entire season, all about the music and the band and the studio. But I still wanted the concert. But lo and behold, before we could even leave this scene, I said, Paul.
Ooh, yes.
This made me so mad. I said, what are you doing here, Paul?
You know why he's here.
No, they were trying to have all try to make it as open-ended. I said, this is a room full of dead people and fledglings. Let's not try to make it open in the episode where the room is full of, people that, had an impact on the life, as well as fledglings, as well as victims. What y'all don't get to come and confuse me. Because I'm chilling. You want to bring Antoinette's ass here and, she said, I don't want your damn apologies, Lestat. Go to hell. Fine. You brought Paul here? If Paul was ever going to show up for anybody, and take them on to glory, if you will, it would have been Louis. We went over here and we sit down. I said, if after all this time, Lestat, you killed Paul, I'm over it. I am over it. Y'all know I have been standing on that mountain. I have been yelling at y'all from the rooftops that this man did not kill Paul. And I'm sorry, I get the idea and the concept. Well, this is everybody. He had that impact, and it's something. Why wouldn't Paul come down from heaven and help Lestat ascend? Why would he? What? This was wild to me. For me, this was confirmation that you did kill Paul, and you've been lying this entire time. Why, my nigga? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Why, Lestat? Why, Lestat? Like,
he's a liar.
Why? I cannot. I've been riding for you, bro. You did this. We get over here. Nah, I will give Lestat a whole lot. We know that he lies. We know that, well, it's this narrative, and it's Louis' narrative, and it's Claudia's narrative. This portion of the Paul coming down, not only to watch the clock tick down, because at this point, he act like he just about to go to glory. You about to buy your mama a black dress. Fine. Well, I'm going to help you ascend. I came down because I'm in heaven. We're going to give you a peaceful outing because my mom said, you know, if you kill yourself, you don't go beyond the gates if you kill yourself. No, Paul made it beyond the gates, but made it his business because we were this with Lestat. And I know that you know that Louis doesn't have, that oomph about him. You could thank our dad for that. He doesn't have the capacity to say that he loves you. And he cares about you. And, thank you for loving Louis the way he deserved to be. I still wish you were a woman. But thank you. Paul came down here to give this to you. Why? This is not earned for me. It's not. The way that Paul was a staunch Lestat hater and you came down here, well, it's like, I've been watching you from above. I like, Lord, I see what you're doing for others. I see what you've been doing for Louis. I see how you've taken care of my brother. And even though you're not a woman, even though it's a sin, I came here to lift you up, brother. I said, oh, you lie. You killed Paul. You better be lying, Lestat. This better be something else. Because if you kill Paul, I can't handle it. I can't stomach it. That means I've been standing on top of a lie for 3 seasons. And I just can't. Dom, what does this mean?
This could not, because let's remember that these aren't really here. Lestat is hallucinating all of this. So Paul didn't come down from on high to bring the good news to Lestat. Lestat is hallucinating. But also, I think and I hope that this is a manifestation. Well, no, what I really think this is, if I'm being honest and I'm being my real cynical self, I think that this was somebody in the writer's room saying that Lestat needs to hear this from somebody. It would mean, and it'd be more impactful if it was Paul and not Louis. If Paul says this, it hits a whole lot different, and we just got to figure out how to make it Paul. That's what I think happened. But if I'm putting my narrative sauce on it, then I think that maybe Lestat feels responsible for Paul. Because then Lestat like get inside Paul's mind for a minute. And that kind of
yes.
And that kind of escalated Paul's decline. So it's like I didn't make him jump, but I pushed the first domino, so I feel responsible for it. I think it's a guilt thing, and not an admission of guilt. Because also you got to tell, because to me it has to be this, because in a TV show you're not going to give the audience this reveal and then it not come out. You know what I'm saying? If you telling us this, that means it's going to come out at some point and we going to find out. So one, you got to write some way weird thing for this to come out. However this comes out 100 years later, that is going to be weird, and it's going to annoy me. But also, there is no version of this show that you could write where Louis finds out that Lestat deliberately killed Paul, and one of them not end up dead after that. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down to the 50-yard line and only one person walking away. But to me, it is such a tender moment. It didn't give the reveal like, oh snap. It was a tender moment. I think Lestat just feels guilty that.
Well, why would he? I never got any sense that Lestat had anything. Y'all going like, well, he pushed him to like I never got him pushing Paul at all. Paul was descending mentally before we ever met Lestat.
Yeah, but he was already declining, but it got worse. It got worse after.
He killed him to have Louis to himself. We all know this. This is what happened.
I never believe it. Well, why would we say
believe it? You don't gotta believe it. This is.
I can't take this. See, after everything, even in this season that we revealed, and it's like, well, remember when this portion of their life and their mending of their relationship, would have been the time like no other to be transparent and honest. I did do that, and I'm sorry. I was ill. I was selfish. And he was still staunch in that car ride. I can't believe you thought I would never kill Paul. I wouldn't harm your brother. And there seemed to be such a layer of respect in that first season for Paul. Like he's like, because Louis had that, undercut of hatred for Paul and all of that. Like, because he's this and he's that. But your brother is consigned, and as conflicted as he is, he knows who he is and he stands in it. I admire that about Paul. That was admiration. So I was like, he never killed Paul. But when you come and you sit Paul in a room full of victims, ain't no other non-victims roll up. I was like, but besides the people who were at that table, everybody in that room seemed to be a victim. But it's like we wanted to be selective with this. I felt like they were trying to leave it up in the balance. So like, let it go. Like, leave us alone. Y'all said he didn't do it, so stop. Why would y'all keep rolling with this into another season?
There's no room for interpretation here. It's in a room of people he killed. Paul said you can't go to heaven if you kill yourself. He's literally talking to God on high because he's went to heaven, and we see the connecting tissues are here.
No, because
killed him. That's no. There's no if and but. Lestat killed him. He is a liar. He lied to Louis in order to.
I don't believe he killed him.
I
knew when this scene happened. I said, "Oh, it's up. It's up," because there's no other reason that people would think he would be here. That's the only reason. But there's no reason for us to lie about it now to keep it a secret rolling into another season.
It's not a secret. This is them telling the secret. This is the revealing of the secret right here.
Because
it's a secret Louis, though.
But he's not actually there. That's the thing, is that Paul isn't actually there. This is all inside Lestat's mind. So this is a manifestation of Lestat's. This is a world of Lestat's created. Paul didn't come through the pearly gates to whisper in Lestat's ear. He's just a hallucination. This is
out of all the people he killed. Why Paul? Why would it be?
Because Paul is the only one. Because Paul is the only one. If my theory is correct, then Paul, because he don't care about them other people. He killed them people and moved on and is fine with them cheering. He don't feel no remorse about their deaths. But Paul, somebody he indirectly is responsible for killing in his mind. I'm not talking about.
Why isn't Claudia there?
In his mind.
Why is it
Claudia? He didn't? Why we add indirectly? Either he killed him or he didn't. And
that's not true. Because that's not how guilt works. That's not how guilt works. Guilt works if I do something. If I do something and then you harm yourself after I do something, I feel guilty about it. I feel like it's my fault. And now when I'm inside my mind, then somebody shows up as a manifestation of my guilt. That's just how emotions work. This is an emotional scene.
Why would he have?
Because we already covered that. Because we already covered that. Claudia said what she had to say. We already covered that.
But Claudia said what she had to say. So was it her or was it not her? Because if we're saying this isn't Paul, and it's then why wouldn't Claudia be there if there's a choice to be made?
Because none of these people are real.
Why would Paul be there?
None of these people are real.
This is Lestat killed him, man. I don't know how far the story to go to tell y'all. I don't know what else they need to say. Do y'all got to see the knife in his hand? Do y'all got to see a flashback of Lestat being in the bushes like Charles Xavier with the mind control?
If we're trying to have this much growth, like and he above all else, he cares about what Louis thinks.
That's why he's hiding it. That's why he still said in the car, "Oh, you thought I killed your brother?" Yeah. That's why he's hiding it, because he knows if Louis finds out, that'll be the end of it. So he still has to lie, and that's the guilt he's feeling, is the lie.
I don't think Lestat killed him, but I still don't think out of all the people that will lend themselves to this conversation, you felt so estranged from that situation with Paul that he would be the one to come down. Like, and even if it wasn't, I don't know who they could have found. I don't know. Paul was weighing on your consciousness. The only way somebody weighs on you this heavily is if you're feeling guilt a lot of the times. A lot of, especially the pattern with these vamps, everything is always attached to guilt. So when they did this, I said, oh, it's going to be divisive. This is going to be up because people are going to feel like you killed Paul for real now, because it will be no other reason, especially with who he is. Lestat could give a damn. We pulled teeth for him to even get Claudia into the narrative this season in his consciousness. But even in this state of your mind,
because he don't care about
the last of the last, it's like, I'm about to die. This is the end. Before we pull that head out of the bag and attach it or whatever, we wake up in the coffin. The last person I'm going to see that's going to
last confession
and validate the love that I gave to Louis, even though he maybe couldn't say it in the way that I wanted him to back, is going to be his brother Paul.
Yeah, because
that's final confession, his last confession in his dying moments, that yes, I did kill Paul. This is what the show is telling us.
That y'all are misreading the scene, and it might be a failure of the showrunners too, and how they did the scene. But that's not, because you gotta look at what's on screen, but also listen to what's being said. The Paul didn't show up because I have all of these guilty feelings about Paul. Paul showed up because in his final moments, Lestat is worried about Louis and worried about how he's been with Louis this whole time. So there's only one person who can show up and validate Louis' feelings, and how Louis is the person who knew him best is his brother. There's nobody else. Claudia can't do it. It can't be Claudia, because we just had a whole conversation where Claudia said, I really hated Louis. I hated Louis. I hated both of y'all, and I hated Louis the best.
Yo, I feel like he didn't have a whole other sibling. His sister, if it needed to be somebody who can verify how he felt, why wouldn't he bring back his sister who had more time with him than Paul did, because Lestat killed him? But
who
is Louis? You tell me, Louis lover. Who was Louis closer to?
Paul was his favorite. I could get behind that, Dom. It would make, because early
on, y'all pulling
when we're sitting at the table and we get Louis at the long table, and it's like, well, what's going on? And it's like, well, I'm in the same predicament you are, so there could be this impending doom of this is the last of us fully, not just me but for Louis. So since I can't have that transparent moment with Louis, I could have it via Paul. I could see that. I could see.
No.
See,
if he needed someone to have that transparent moment with, it would have been Claudia. Be damned of what happened in the last episode. It would have been her, because that's who he knows.
But she hates him. She's gonna roll up and say, "Thank you for loving Louis." She hated their guts. Like, that's not.
Exactly. She hated both of them, and Paul hated Lestat. So why the heck he gonna be up in here talking about some? Oh yeah,
because Paul loved Louis. That's the thing. Louis is the common denominator.
Y'all just don't want to believe this man does no wrong. That's all it is. Y'all don't want to believe he's a liar and a manipulator.
It doesn't make sense. See, it doesn't. It doesn't.
It's not consistent with nothing he's done so far. Nothing that Lestat.
He's in the room with people he killed. That's the consistency. Is he's a killer. He's a killer, and
I feel like this is the writers. They were trying to play. They knew the moment they popped Paul out. I said, oh hell no. I was happy to see Paul, but when Paul said what he said, and it was like, oh, that's the end, like it's going down. And I said, oh, this is divisive as hell. Why would y'all leave off this season bringing this back up when we've done everything to try to validate the fact that, oh, you didn't kill Paul, and I was actually right. And Louis, you really thought that low of me? Why would you do this? Writers, like, y'all, don't be cheap. Don't do that. Y'all got too much money to be cheap.
The people he messed up were the people that he gave the gift to. Those were the people who were in the spotlight. His mom, Louis, even his former self, his baby self. He messed up his baby self by doing all the things as he became an adult. The people who we see in the crowd, those are his victims. That's why Paul came from the back of the crowd.
See, Paul wasn't in the crowd. He was
in the back of the crowd. He was there. He was in the back. He came from the back of the crowd, stepped on the stage. He was a victim, guys.
But he got a spot. see, you can't take this away. You just can't.
It's the truth.
We just can't, because what the hell? I knew that this was going to happen. I knew it.
I lied to you.
Oh, Lord. I lied to you. From Sinners should have been Lestat's #1 song. Man, I can't. This does not make sense in the narrative of the show. I cannot believe this. I knew when they did this, it was going to set us back 400 years. I knew it.
Yeah, but it couldn't have been anybody else. That's the thing, is like it couldn't have been anybody else to do this, to say the things that Paul said to Lestat. Nobody else in this show that we've seen could have been.
He said, Lestat said, but I knew it was going to be selective and people were going to choose the latter. When it said, oh, my fledglings, people I killed, people I messed over, that's going to be that. But then it takes me back. I need to go revisit. How did you mess over Paul? I didn't think that you were pushing Paul. Did you push Paul?
No, he didn't push Paul, but he pushed that domino. He did push that domino.
With the force.
Paul was defining as bad.
We see he can take over minds.
Then that's him killing. That's him killing him.
That's essentially him saying,
because I never thought he pushed him, not even a little bit. If he pushed Paul just a little bit, then you contributed to his death. Then you killed him. Yeah. It's not a little. Well, then he killed him, Dom.
Yeah, but we're not gonna act like. Well, first of all, we gotta talk about scale, and we're talking about vampires. So we're not gonna act like that's the same thing as these people he snapped the neck and bit. That's different. Because he didn't intend to kill Paul. At no point.
Are we sure?
At no point.
We're gonna do that. This is no different than Armand walking up to people and saying rest. Pushing.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said.
No. That's different.
How?
That's different because I'm moving. Because it's different with I'm moving with the intention of you ending your life. I'm not saying that Lestat put him on that roof and told him to jump. I'm not saying that. He didn't do that. But I'm saying that me getting in your mind of an already mentally unstable person could do irreparable damage that Lestat didn't intend to happen. And now he done jumped off that roof. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Don, you're probably right. But you're breaking the narrative fourth wall in my mind. Are we analyzing from the writer's room or Lestat's hallucinogenic hallway? I don't know. I knew. So I put this. I said, oh hell! I said, y'all brought Paul out. Y'all really finna go up. We all saw in season 1 how Lestat strolled up on Louis in his moment of grief and was so cavalier, like, your brother died. Join me. He did it.
I never said he wasn't opportunistic.
It was all part of the plan.
I never said he wasn't opportunistic.
All part of the plan. Just like Armand.
Very opportunistic. I already knew where we were going with that. Like, I can really get you now, because the only like slither that you had to like cling to, since Mama was treating you some type of way, it's me now. Your fave is gone. You know,
and he got rid of the obstacle.
Opportunistic and pushing is two different things. If we're going to sit here on this panel, Dom, because I never thought he pushed him at all. If you're saying he pushed him just a little bit, then you did it. Then you did it. And I can't swallow that. I can't.
This is what the show is telling us. Look at what they're telling us, guys. Don't try to read. Don't try to define every little avenue. This is what they're telling us.
Let's see. What they say. The silver threads is the zipper on the bowling bag. It was very creative, and that's why it was. I just knew that we were up. I knew that it was over the moment he came down. I said, we're cooked. We're cooked. The audience is cooked. We finna have people on one side and the other side again. When I thought we had settled this argument. Thank you so much, Hype Green, for the super chat. Paul is Lestat's connection to Louis, the part of Louis that Lestat is not sure he can reach. Paul is there to show Lestat that he did reach Louis and that Louis is not one of his failures. I like that. I like that. On that note, we're going to go on commercial break because I need some water. Hit that like button for the failures, part 2. Oh, my goodness.
Don't leave your girl around me. True player for real. That's my nigga for real. You baby. So cheap, girl. 'Cause I'ma be right tonight. You don't have to go after the night. So cheap. Don't leave your girl around me. True player for real. That's my nigga for real. Situation will arise in our lives, but you gotta be smart about it.
I just feel like we should go with Hype Green's version of events. I like that so much better. It gave me peace, Hype Green. Thank you so much. Where you been, Hype Green? I needed that. Thank you, because I feel validated, because this scene pissed me off. I said, y'all have set us back in the vamp verse. Why would y'all be divisive like this? There's so many ways to interpret this scene. I'm going to stick with my interpretation, and C's going to stick with hers.
The
And
truth.
Dom
I'll
gonna stick
stand
with
with
the
the truth.
push. I was with you, Dom, until you added push. So what? Pushing is pushing. Now,
Exactly what happened.
from the moment that we transition and we pop out the coffin, it just all speeds up. The fans are out there. We about to tilt the tour bus over, and the head is reattached. We already knew what was going on with Louis, and we get out and we're pretty much rejuvenated, because Heffa, first of all, where's Louis? Says, where's my man? Where's Louis? Is Louis safe? Is Louis okay? It's like, yeah, he's fine. And we reattach that head. You're good to go to really get out there and get that great conversion going and go perform. But we did all the performing that we needed to do and got our validation that we needed via this van in our dream state, in our hallucinogenic state. I don't need to do this. Matter of fact, I don't want to do this. Said you're evil, you wicked, you monster. I might as well be a tolerant tear, is the way you trying to pin me up and get me out there to perform like you've always been. You've always been terrible. Yet and still, once we, hug it out with Louis, we transition to the failures. I said, we're not gonna get this. We don't see nothing. Are we waiting to roll over to a part 2, the next season, to see what transpired? I wanted to see it. I was waiting all season to physically see what that concert, even if we were like in the midst of the great conversion and it cuts, it's like, oh my God, what? Like if we would have cut and Akasha popped out, I would have fade, like, oh my gosh, oh my God. And we just fade to black. We didn't get to do nothing, see nothing, go a place. I was happy our boys were okay. Their necks were reattached. I'm happy that we see Miss Thing for the manipulator that she is. But it's like I'm getting so much pressure, not only from my mother, but Rolin James is on the tour bus telling me all the reasons that I have to perform and why I need to do these things. Did he or didn't he, or how did he participate? We don't know. We cut different place, different time, looking over. Baby, a level. I say it's the whole world level. Like, damn, how far does this go? What happened? What took place? I really needed some breadcrumbs to tide me over to the next season, and they didn't give us anything. I'm happy they're okay, and he has some self-awareness. But you are now listening to the failures. All right, Dom.
I don't get emotional. But I was upset. I was mad. I was real mad. I wanted to flip the table over. Because not only are you just going to skip over the thing we've been building towards the entire season, but also the thing after that. Like, I wanted to see Akasha. No, you're going to tell me after Akasha was released. No. Rewind. Rewind. That's what I want to see. At least see me a hand. I want to see a hand movement or something. Like, you don't even show me her. Yeah, I don't see the concert. I was fine not seeing the concert, but if you wanted to jump after the conversion or whatever, you can't. You got to show me something. You got to show me something, because you can't tell me like this was the end of Lestat's emotional journey. So it's Lestat's arc from the episode 1 to episode 7. That's complete. But the whole point is you gotta parallel that circle with the larger narrative, and you open this up. You open the season up with showing me everybody who was battle worn, and then was like, well, let's see how we got there. No. So show me how we got there. We need to get there. And this was the most irritating thing I've seen on TV in a long time. I really was like, how dare you? How dare you make me pay $7.99 for this mess? Like, that's ridiculous. I didn't think the great conversion or whatever was going to happen, because just for that scene, I'm like, you're not finna show me a whole season in the apocalypse. Like, y'all don't got the budget for that. Y'all don't have the budget to show me I Am Legend vampire. Yeah, it's just not in the budget. I know it's not, but you got to show me something. You got to show me something. And I was irritated. The fact that you didn't show me the great conversion, you didn't show me the concert, you didn't show me Akasha waking up, you didn't show me, I want to see her do the Aaliyah dance through you didn't show me nothing. And I'm irritated. And now, wait till season 4 come out. I bet you I bootleg that.
I just hate it. This is not one of those shows where it's like, oh, we don't 8 months, stay back, cook. No, we are going to wait. And there is no time and frame as to how long. Normally, the frame of windows are 2, sometimes 3 goddamn years. You have to have the audience. Like, I love y'all down, but there's no guarantee that the audience is going to be. I'm gonna watch it. Am I going to be as invested? Am I like, how could you leave us high and dry like this? Like, this was mean spirited, in my opinion. See?
Yeah. When I said I love the episode, I didn't mean this part, because this part pissed me off. Because it is very much like, okay, this is where this is where you decide to leave us for the next 2 years. That I didn't like that we really got, we nothing. And yet, like you guys mentioned, we have this build up for the concert and the great conversion. And, if he's going to do it, is he not going to do it? Armand's telling him, don't do it. And he's going to go through with it. Gabby's telling him, you better bring your booty out there because I'm a pass your mom and you better, better work. And we don't get nothing. And then we get this, like a little peek, a glimpse of the destruction out the window without getting any kind of further explanation. This part of the episode, I couldn't get with this part of the episode. And unfortunately, that's where they left us. This is the taste that they leave in our mouths until next season. And that's unfortunate. I did like that he did finally, in some capacity, talk back to his mom a little bit. Just kind of put her into place a little bit. I did like that.
Even with that, see, like, in the end, did you get your ass up there? Like, what? How did it go?
Yeah,
like,
we don't even know. Yeah, did he not?
What's all the mouth? And you're not my dad if you got up there anyway. Like, what is all that mouth if you got up there anyway, Lestat? Like, what did you do? Did you refuse? Was there a rioting because you refused to go on stage? Did you end up going on? Did you participate? We got to get Akasha downstairs somehow. So I'm convinced you. I just needed a little something, just like a cutaway. Like, ooh, it was so like, was this my fault? Yes, it was my fault. It's all my fault. And it just cuts. Okay.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that.
And why my boys ain't get to kiss and hump on each other this season? What is that about? Where was the naked? Now,
no floating sex scenes.
I normally reserve my smack scenes when I'm over with certain shows. This is one of the shows where they have such great chemistry, and we've been waiting for them to get back together for so long. So in that one moment where it could be nice and we're rubbing pinkies, I needed y'all to rub y'all bottom pinkies too. What are we doing?
It really ain't gonna happen next season after he found out he killed his brother. Now that's what you really ain't gonna.
You ain't gonna, bro.
Please, see, we're trying to move and forge ahead. We're trying to move. If that's a thing, and it's over. Ain't no more love. It's all up and it's up and it's stuck. But he wasn't giving that down, limping with his one good leg down to the auction. Louis was giving, I'm here to claim my baby stuff. Like, it was not giving like a hateful spirit. It was some smug looks towards Raglan James and definitely towards Armand. I just needed to see, like, I didn't need to see Louis lose his leg or an eye, or like, it just needs to be like emerging comeback or an emergence of Akasha, even if we don't physically see her, but like we know she's coming. Was that not in the budget? Mm.
No, if you show me peg leg, I need you to show me how you get peg leg. If you show me eye patch, I need you to that's how you started the season. That's how you got in the season. That's just how that's good decor.
Man, my boys ain't getting naked. Like, why y'all not naked? I really hate that for y'all. Like Nikki, if someone is psychologically unsound, then it doesn't take much to send them over. That sounds like push activities to me, Drew. Sound like a push.
What?
It's a push. That's murder. It's murder. There's not a line.
It's involuntary manslaughter.
He's still guilty.
This gave House of Dragons season 2 finale.
Dang.
That's exactly what this feel like.
Somebody said AMC being cheap.
Why? Like, why y'all gotta come here and be cheap? Were they being this cheap the other seasons and we didn't notice? Like, what's happening?
But isn't this their flagship? Like AMC ain't got no business.
No,
You
this
supposed
is
to go out
it.
for
This is
your
their
big
most
show.
popular show.
Yeah, you go out for your big. You be cheap on some other stuff. Go be cheap on
Where
something
I
else.
think I thought they were being cheap over there with like Talamasca, and those shows are like getting the short end of the stick. And then we get over here, it's like,
I don't know. Talamasca, they were on location, child. They were on location. They ain't doing that on. They wasn't doing that this season.
Even Mayfair with
did,
they all in
they
the
did.
island.
Scotland, Ireland, somewhere. They were in them green, their heels. They were. See, so I'm wondering if that first station scene is post concert or post Akasha. I'm also wondering if she's going to show up at the concert during the battle like Aaliyah did. I think that's like the expectation because we're so set in the mind frame of this is where, with the way the show and the season has gone, I don't think there's anything that we could depend on. I don't know. I feel like because we're meeting him here recording the tapes. And then once we have the failures and they're rolling up, I think this was after. Because if it's all laid bare already, some other stuff ensued. So everything that we need to get is not happening at this concert. They're not having it all, duking it out to where we lose the eye then and lose the leg. I think that happens later, after the concert. I don't know. I'm disappointed.
That's something we shouldn't have to guess because we should have saw it. But I feel like the concert ignites the start of the Great Conversion. Like this starts them going to enact it, and then there's chaos after that. And like she wakes up, but I don't think she wakes up and makes it to the concert. I think that's a lie. Because where is she at? Romania? She ain't having that long. He ain't having that long of a concert to wake her up. I just think the concert wakes her up, and then she'll, she's just moving around.
It was him yelling at Gabriel, "You get out there, you sing." Say, please don't send her out there so she can convert. Don't send her nowhere, please, please, no. See, what are your predictions for part 2, if you have any?
Part 2 is going to be Tales of the Body Thief. They are going to mix it in. It's we're going to get Queen of the Dam, but we are going to get Tale of the Body Thief for sure, and it's going to be with Claudia. That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be with Claudia, and maybe a little bit of what's his name, Daniel. Because I don't think they've taken Sam off the screen too much. They know people come here for Sam. And they come here for Louis. So I don't think they're going to switch the body into Rolin James. They're going to switch Claudia as right into Regina. And that's what's going to be it. So yeah, those are my predictions.
I predict that these boys come together. They eventually, with everything that's transpired, because you could, first of all, if you did what you didn't took my whole head off, me and my little favorite companion, and branded me in the chest, and I don't even want to sit in a room with you at an auction, Armand. I don't want to see you, bruh. It's on site. And they're just sitting there like, we got through whatever we got through together. So I'm expecting some type of, we've hated each other all along, low key, but this is bigger than us. We need to protect whatever. I'm expecting something like that next, because why are we all kind of hunky-dory? It's like, we made it through, it felt like, for good or bad. I just don't know. I really need to go run back that first episode. I'm expecting that. I'm expecting Claudia to emerge. I don't want Regina. I want Claudia. I don't know her. I don't want to know Regina. I want a vengeful, hate-filled Claudia roaming through the streets as a grown-ass woman, sound-minded. I'm so sorry to write Regina off. City girl, you had fun while it lasted. I don't know. I want Claudia to inhabit that body and be running amok. Y'all wanted me, now I'm here. You sure you wanted me back? Like I need that. I need that. I need some bumping and grinding next. Okay, stop it. What is happening? I don't know what's happening with the naked bodies. Like, please get my boys together, humping each other soon. I don't want to see Daniel go. But I wouldn't mind if Daniel went. If that makes sense. I don't want Daniel to die, but I feel like we need something to be the catalyst of, we're immortal, but only to a fault. Y'all are capable of dying. I want to see like the aftermath of losing someone who's been integral to their dynamic for good or bad. You've been here and you've mattered and now you're gone. And to evoke some type of feeling. I need that. I don't need as much Gabriella next season. I want to see her in a different capacity. Because she's not a bad character and she's not a bad actress. They just didn't do the right thing with her. So I want to see that. Now this body thief business, I don't know if I'm ready for that much Raglan James. I'm gonna see who all over there when I get there. But don't make us wait 5 years for it if you can. Thank you, management. Dom?
I think what we'll get is Daniel got to die. In a sense of like we haven't lost the main cast member really at all. Like Claudia died, but we still see her face. And so like for the emotional weight and impact, we got to lose somebody. And Daniel is the most useless of the people that he really don't have nothing to do. But become a shadow of the Daniel I liked. And so I would have rather he went and took the riches from his book and went off somewhere and lived happily ever after. But since y'all didn't do that, go on kill him all. And I don't. This body snatcher thing is an interesting idea, but because they've been making stupid decisions this season, I hope that they don't make another stupid. And I mean, they might do something silly and have like a Scooby-Doo episode where it's Daniel and Regina switching because they didn't mess it up. So now I got to watch Delaney try and do a Daniel Malloy accent for 30 minutes. And so, I mean, and then I got to watch Daniel act like a 30-year-old woman. And so that is more in the wheelhouse of what they do with this season has made me think that they're willing to do. But you have got to. It's funny y'all said the House of Dragon season 2 because I feel like this is the same stuff I was saying. Like you got to start. We got to get there. You done been teasing me that we need to be. We staring at the fire and our son just died and need the war to start. Like we need to go ahead and start it. We go ahead and wake up Akasha. We need to go ahead and do the Great Convergence. And the Talamasca need to get on the good foot. I need to know what y'all agenda is. I need to know y'all motivations. So I need to know what side y'all on. I need to know what's going on. And don't bring. And if the world go in, and you feel like you need to bring some witches, don't bring the sad white women. Bring the Merricks. Bring the Merrick side of the Mayfairs if you just need some firepower. Don't you bring that blue-eyed demon over here. Give me the other Mayfair. Give me the New Orleans Mayfairs that I want to see. But that's.
I just don't want it to be corny. I don't want it to look like oh, if you blink twice and look left, it's Twilight. Like I don't want the battle to look corny. Like I want it to be cool, and I want it to be like a battle. Don't shortchange us like they did on the last season of The Boys. Chill. I
don't think we're gonna get a real battle. Not like that because action ain't what this show do. Like this show ain't an action show, and the battles we do get is
to validate that leg and that eye. Okay, a leg. You got a fake leg. We got to do something for that. Oh man, y'all just okay. I'm sorry. They can't convince me, Paul, that came down from heaven to co-sign Lestat. Lestat had to be hallucinating. I can't take no more, Paul.
Yeah, I didn't think that anybody was watching this thinking that he was really talking to these people.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was a hallucination, but it's just the fact that out of all people, it's Paul.
It's all the people he killed. Even if it was a hallucination, it's the people that he killed. And he had in his hallucination in the room of people that he killed, he had Paul in there because he killed Paul. Thank you.
By accident.
He didn't do that at all. He didn't. It wasn't no accident.
And he continues to lie about it to this day. Crazy.
He didn't do it, y'all.
He just feels guilty. He didn't push him off the building. He just feels guilty that he contributed to his decline.
Oh Lord, he pushed him mentally.
I can't, y'all. I got a little piece of migraine all about Paul right here. Let's see. Are these the same writers? I heard some of the Black writers didn't return for this season. We keep like overhearing that. The essence is different with a lot of the wording with our Black characters. If y'all go back, C has mentioned the fried chicken, nappy head. So some things could have been checked at the door. Like, who wrote that? Who said that? Who said that? Some of it has been off, so I wouldn't put it past it. But that would explain a little bit of the essence or something missing. I guess they said we didn't need that New Orleans Creole at this moment. We need no mama energy this season, so y'all could go. I think we still needed that because at the end of the day, this is they're Black cast members here. Y'all have to atone for them as well. Like, I don't know. See, do you think that these are the same writers, or
I don't think so because it ain't giving the same secret sauce in my opinion. I don't think so. Maybe they saving it for next season. Like I said, the budget all went to the next season.
I don't know. There seems to be a problem with editing and pacing this season. Now, I can't speak to like the black part, but it's just like writers in general. Somebody who had the Midas touch, like, well, actually, we should maybe do this and it'll flow this way. Somebody's gone, clearly. It's still, good. You can still tell that the showrunner and stuff is there, but somebody's missing from the writer's room because there's no way that we jump from something. Even, how they want to give us those hour-long episodes and the last 10 minutes is, well, such and such and such and such. Where Rolin wanted us to, he's a very ambitious man because they're like, well, he told us last season, but now this season we're doing all of this and we're covered in blood and their heads are going to be chopped off. It's very ambitious. There's somebody not editing in the way that they were before. Dumb.
It could be the same writers, and it's just a difficult thing to switch point of views on a show. Like, you not only because you have to write essentially the same show from a different character's point of view, and then change the show to match that person's personality. Like, Interview with the Vampire 1 and 2 is very much not just Louis' point of view, but it's Louis' personality. The slow, romantic, smooth pacing of the show, is very much Pimp Louis. And so now we're switching to the frantic, aloof, erratic point of view and pace and vibe of Lestat. It's a challenge to like get that. And it's a challenge for us to want to watch that because I always looked at Lestat like a minion. Like, great when it's a side character in the show, but a Minions movie is a little much for me. Like, watching the whole 90 minutes of them things is crazy. So that's what Lestat was to me. So like a whole show of Lestat's craziness is a lot, and it's a lot to write, and especially at the same level. So I just think it might have been a challenge. They might have found their groove and get it right for the next season.
Hopefully.
We're gonna see.
But y'all, that was the show. I'm exhausted all about Paul. I was cool to see I brought up Paul. We appreciate you guys for walking with and supporting us through all 7 episodes. It has been a fabulous time. See, I am going to come to you first to let the people know what you got going on. You still on them Silence of the Lamb streets?
In fact, I am. We are finally going to be discussing it this coming Sunday, the book, The Silence of the Lambs. So if you ever read that, join us this coming Sunday. Also, we'll be disclosing the book that we'll be reading for next month's book discussion. Also, I'm talking about X-Men 97 on my show. We're talking about that Thursday at 7:30. Immediately following that at 8, we're going to be talking about my adventures with Superman. And I'll also be guest paneling on Kay's channel on the Slice of Horror because we're going to be talking about House of Dragons, the newest episode of that. So check me out there. And that's what I'm doing. Thanks for having me. It's been awesome talking about the show with you guys.
Thank you, C. Are y'all watching the concert? I don't know. I talked to management about the concert. Dom, hopefully you're joining C for that X-Men 97 because I know you like that too. What you got going on?
I do like X-Men 97. It's cooking. And my Adventures of Superman is cooking. And the animation is doing their thing right now. So I'm always up for it. Come over to Cinematic Pain because I'm talking about the Odyssey and getting people upset about how good the Odyssey is and how good. And I'm talking about the Odyssey, and we're talking about Christopher Nolan's legacy and where he ranks as far as a top director. And he might not be as high on my list as he is for everybody else's, even though the Odyssey is great. We're talking about Spider-Man's coming up, so we're talking about Marvel stuff, DC stuff, and everything. We talking about everything making everybody upset because we so right over here. So come on over.
Thank you, guys. Be sure to be on the lookout for discussions this week. I think I'll be discussing The Ultimatum, the latest season of The Ultimatum. Hot mess. If you have not watched The Ultimatum on Netflix, please watch that because No. And also be on the lookout for the latest episode of Raising Canaan. Definitely be discussing that. Y'all be sure to throw love and all that good stuff towards Ashley Way. She was not feeling well tonight, so she couldn't join us. But maybe Ashley will just go live solo and hit y'all with her opinions. Because I know y'all wanted to hear them. I wanted to hear them. Okay. But maybe we'll get that another day. But we appreciate you guys for supporting us. Be sure to support us in all endeavors on all platforms with all channels. We will see you guys next time with something else. Y'all have a good night.
Bye.